Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Yeehaw Lads podcast, episode number 55. Nick was feeling a little under the weather this week, so I brought in my younger brother Michael to help fill in some gaps and explain the things we've done over the past week, because we've been doing a lot of cool things.
Oh, have you now?
We have. What we haven't been doing is gathering any memes. I think we have two, and they're probably both not very good. So we're just going to dive through them and get them over with.
I tried this week.
Did you?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Well, we have a total of two, and one's a picture.
Okay.
Let me get this popped up.
So this one's mine. It says POV, you drive a four-banger.
Ready?
Turns off the air conditioner for extra power.
That's a legitimate. That is actually very real.
I can absolutely feel the difference in my Subaru.
It literally does make a humongous difference. Even in the Honda, that's like 108 horsepower. You click it off, you're like, whoa.
I always love
VTEC Stage 2.
I always love hearing people complain like, "Oh, my car's so slow." It's like, you were driving uphill. You have a 1.3 liter, and you had the AC on max. Yeah,
God
you just
forbid
turned
it's a
it into
CVT also.
Yeah,
Says
you
the
just
guy
turned it
who
into a
keeps
half liter.
1,000 pounds of shit in his car.
Fuck you.
Same.
Not when I'm racing.
When we went to rally, you unloaded so much out of your car, it filled my entire car trailer with just stuff out of your car.
Filled
It
the
really,
entire
Michael,
car,
you were
a
there.
quarter
I
of
was
it.
there.
How much was on the trailer?
He filled over half of the trailer.
Like up to the fenders with just stuff out of the car.
you know, I was
tools,
on my way here.
fluids.
You know, obviously it's extremely hot out.
It's
Yeah.
fucking nasty
but
hot.
I was at the Four Corners. AC's cranked and the clutch kicked on, and I hit the gas at the same time, and the car was just like.
It
I was
just,
like, I
it
was
just
like,
like
this is
fell asleep
Just
as you're
gone.
driving.
It was a little eepy.
Absolutely gave the shit up. All right, here's the other one. I popped this up just last minute. When your family asks how your last off-roading trip went.
Yep.
And it's a scene from, what is this, Tommy Boy?
Yeah.
With them like car on fire, smashing into each other, everything going wrong. That's kind of how things go anymore.
Yep.
It's like, oh, where are the keys? Well,
We forgot them.
it's like it took like,
They're
Just
back
leave them
home.
in the ignition.
but then what if they fall
What if
out?
they
through-
fall onto the floor? Oh no!
The floor has holes in
I was
it.
about to say
Not
the
anymore.
floor's
Not
massive.
not
All of
anymore,
the
but-
holes.
My Jeep might have that problem. It'd probably drop into the frame rail, and I'd have to fish it
Fish
out
it
with a
out
magnet.
with-
You mean
Yeah.
like
Fucking
when
magnet.
poor Nick was with you and you fucking
I
launched
blinded
mud
myself because of the fucking rust hole in my floorboard? Yeah.
You threw a huge chunk of mud up and hit yourself somehow.
Yeah.
That
you
was
know.
a good time.
I can't see. Bam, tree.
Backs into a tree at full throttle. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, I guess that happens.
Oh,
All right. Well, since we got Michael here, what did we do this week? Because we went somewhere, did some things.
Yeah, so we attended Sick Summer at Byron Dragway for day one of Sick Summer.
Six Summer 2024.
How many days long is Six Summer?
So
Five.
Six Summer is a 5-day event.
I mean,
It is-
technically, you could count it as 6 days if you counted
If you
day
count-
0 for test and tune.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Day 0, the track's open, so you can get there, unload all your stuff, kind of just get dialed
Set
in real
up.
quick.
Yeah.
So day 1, so this is a drag and drive event, which means you have to drive your drag car
Yes.
from event to event with all your tools and all your equipment in the car with you. No support trailers, no nothing else. Like, you get the car and whatever you can tow behind it.
Yep.
Some of the guys had like pretty good sized trailers behind their race cars, which when you've got a 4,000 horsepower big block,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't really care, but it's still a lot of weight moving around behind it, you know? So it's a real stress test on these cars because running fast once isn't, I mean, it's hard, obviously, but it isn't that hard for them. But running fast 5 days in a row and driving track to track,
Yeah.
Yeah. A total of about 800 to 1,000 miles.
yeah, it puts a ton of stress on the cars and the drivers. So it's a very interesting challenge. So we went up there on Monday for day 1, which is at Byron Dragway, which is like when you're driving there, you just go out and around and come back. So you're looking towards the nuke plant. It's like the nuke plant is not that far away.
No.
And where we rally race is still even closer to it from
Yeah.
there. Like you can see them clear as day at the end of the tree line.
Like,
Yeah.
here's where we rally race. Here's the nuke plant. There's a big timber. There's a drag strip.
Yeah.
It's not that far away.
Yeah, you can see in Cletus McFarland's video, you can see the nuke plant.
Oh, was he
the
there?
cloud generator? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sick.
That was
why.
the main reason that we ended up going because
Yeah, you can
see 'em?
see the
Kind of.
reactor. You can see the steam coming up at
The
the end of
cooling
the. You can
towers.
see it as you're going down the drag strip. You can very clearly
Let
see
me just
it.
pop it up on satellite real quick just to
Yeah.
illustrate what's going on here. So here's Google Maps. Here's how you come on in. Here's the drag strip. So the cars were all parked over here on the concrete and grass section, and the other section is split up into car parking. The drag strip runs down, basically right out staring at the nuke plant, which is right here. So you could see these basically clear as day because it's a straight shot.
And then just to the northwest is the
There's
and
one rally race.
the rally complex. Like the nuke plant's here. The rally complex is
Next door.
even closer to that.
Yeah.
Like right here. So when we were getting there, my boss is like, "So where do you race?" I'm like, "About where that tower is. Like it's as close to that as we could possibly get."
So who else all went? Your boss? Did Eric go?
Yes. So we had my boss, Eric, coworker Joe, and me in the
Dang.
crew cab from work.
The whole work crew.
And Michael's like, "Oh, I'll just follow you guys up there."
Fair
I'm
enough.
like, that's perfect.
We clearly did not understand that.
It was early in the morning, and I didn't understand what he meant by that.
Yeah, you were
So-
supposed to send him a text and it never happened?
Well,
or?
no. So he texted me that in the morning. He's like, "What time are you leaving?" I'm like, "Oh, right about 7." He's like, "Okay, I'll just follow you up there." Me thinking like, "Oh, he's gonna like catch us at the exit and just follow up with us. Like, he'll be waiting there for a minute or whatever." No, he like as we merged on, like we drove past the Casey's as he must have been pulling around to get gas or something. Like, it had to be like the perfect miss. Like I don't know. Like you got to the shop like a minute after we left, and you're like, "Where are you?" I'm like,
Yeah, I literally like pulled in the shop and I was like, I was like, all their cars are here and I see no crew cab. I was like, they must have left already.
We must have just like I don't know. It must have been the perfect like as you were pulling out of the Casey's, we drove past or something. But somehow on the hour and 20-minute drive there, we never caught up. Like you were consistently like 1 minute behind us for an hour.
It's like every time I would get slightly close, I was like, I have to be like right next to him. A semi would merge over.
Oh, and then you get to wait 3 miles to pass him.
miles an hour,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh.
So I'm checking the snap map. I'm like, he should be right there. Like he's like 1 minute ago, he's like just behind us. I keep looking back, and I'm like, I don't see him anywhere. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'm sure he'll catch up eventually. It's like
Never
At the
caught up.
gate.
literally we pulled in the gate, one car came in, and then he pulled in behind us.
Sick. You drove the Subaru up there?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Had to put some miles on it.
How'd she handle?
Ran great. Yeah,
Did-
if you got it break 80 miles an hour, it's finally quiet in there. So
That's when the drone stops.
The exhaust is in fact a bit loud on that thing.
See, I know how that is.
I actually ended up ordering another muffler, so we're gonna see how that goes.
After just driving it for a week, you're like, man, this kind
I'm
of.
fed up. I actually drove my truck to work today because
No, you didn't.
I did not want to hear it.
Really?
Is your truck fucking fixed now?
It's enough.
Yeah,
It's fixed.
Yeah,
now.
it's-
it works. That's
Can you
That's
just
about it.
quickly explain how many different things have been fucked up through? Like,
so it was. I don't know what Thanksgiving when I took it in.
it was before New Year's because we took Dad's truck to New Year's because you had already been driving it for a month. So yeah, probably about Thanksgiving
I'm pretty
ish.
sure it was Thanksgiving. I took it in for a list of things. Coolant leaks. The rear end was making noise. Every once in a while, you'd start it up and it just sound like somebody threw some gravel in the engine.
It really did. There was some days that it was just kind of wacky.
So I go there, I drop it off. Call me like a week and a half later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got it all fixed." I was like, "Perfect." And I picked it up, and it was raining. And I get home, and I was like, "Man," I was like, "This thing just does not sound right." So I start looking and looking, and I was like, there's like a lot of pieces missing off of this thing. I'm missing
There was-
brackets for the charge pipes.
What
There's
the
skid
fuck?
plates missing.
Yeah, you're in,
Wa-
like the
They
FX4
had-
skid plate is gigantic and it's just gone.
gone.
Like the whole underbelly, like front half skid plate.
What
They
the
had
fuck?
electrical wires crimped underneath the like air filter box. I was like, and it wasn't even latched down.
They like just fucked it up so bad somehow.
The one, see, the noise that really threw me off. So obviously my factory blow off valve is disconnected, and I've
Oh
never-
yeah, yeah. You
Race,
don't need
race
that.
truck stuff. Yeah.
There's still a hose that connects to the air cleaner pipe. It was just laying on the serpentine belt.
just
Like
on,
completely loose.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on the spinning belt was like
they
melting
broke
it.
just pushed it back on there, and it fell off and was just rubbing on the belt, and I could hear this squeaking
God.
noise, and I was like, "What the hell is this noise?"
Yeah, you think you get it back from the dealer and you're like, oh, it'll be fixed, right? And it's somehow way worse.
Also, they left the drive shaft loose to the rear end. There was like an 1/8-inch gap where it bolted up
This
Why did
doesn't.
they need to fuck
none
with
of
the
this
drive shaft?
shocks me.
because the pinion seal was leaking.
Oh,
They had to
now
fix
this is a whole nother ordeal. I took it back 4 times.
That's so.
and it's still not right.
no, it's still
I mean,
howls.
it still makes noise. So
Did you ever think of, I don't know, don't go to that dealer anymore?
I'm gonna sell it, buy a new truck, and it's never gonna go to the dealer.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. I was trying to
Do it all myself.
because while we were at Byron, we were kind of joking, talking about looking. There was some F-150s with superchargers and stuff there, and he's like, "I'm like, so you're just buying this, right? Like just a single cab
you
work
just
truck
should.
with a
Yeah.
supercharger."
Buy the same year truck, just supercharge, and don't let that
I'll
dealership
just buy
touch
a
it.
brand new one with a 10-speed 4-wheel
25.
drive.
Full, it's
XL.
full. It's the full Sam truck. Buy
Yes.
a XL.
Yeah.
Fucking Ford. Yeah. Do power window, power locks, and fucking XL interior and a fucking Whipple on it.
Yeah.
Literally, is there any single cabs? Yeah, this thing. Let me pop
Yeah,
this up
right
on the
there,
screen.
but blue.
Yeah.
Look at that, 35 grand.
Hold on, let me pop it up.
Shit,
with,
that's not
let me
bad.
pop it up with colors. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
it'd probably be closer to 40.
this is Mr. Sam, one of Cletus's. I don't know if we'd call him one of his guys or not. I guess
Yeah, he's
on
in the crew,
He's on
yeah.
the crew. So they have this same truck. It's a single cab white F-150
Yep.
with
Four-wheel drive.
4-wheel drive with the factory V8 Coyote,
Yep.
Nice.
and they threw a Gen 6 Whipple supercharger on top of it,
Yeah.
and it's fucking.
What did it make
fast.
horsepower wise? I know it's over 6.
I don't think they
They
dynoed
never
it.
dynoed
Oh,
it.
okay. It should be around 600
The
horsepower.
way it moves around, it's at least 6.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
It is a bit silly.
Because it also
Not-
weighs 5,500 pounds and runs an 11.2.
Not
Yeah.
to mention, it's the level 3 polished Whipple.
It is extremely shiny. In person, you look at it and you're like, damn, this is actually kind of
Damn.
sick.
I was actually
take
at
any
home
pictures?
looking.
While
No,
you
we
guys were there?
none of us took any pictures, and now that I'm like, fuck, I should have taken so many. Like I was gonna bring my camera with,
Oh, yeah.
and then I just didn't. So I just forgot to take pictures the entire day. 'Cause
Damn.
there's so many cars and cool things.
Mm-hmm.
You would just be running in circles trying to take pictures. There's just so much stuff.
Do you want to go
going on.
back to the Drag and Drive, or
to what?
because we didn't really ever finish what the Drag and Drive is?
Oh yeah, hold on. I was just popping up antimatter metallic blue real quick.
Ooh, there you
Ooh,
go.
that's a
It is
nice
actually it's
blue.
in the sunlight. It can either look black or the coolest dark blue.
This is the color that Michael wants to get.
Go
He's
to
a-
that lighter
I'm
blue.
a
I want to
fan.
see
I'll
that.
do
real
that and then
quick.
paint match grill and bumpers.
So here's the lighter. This
There
is
you go.
Atlas
Ooh,
blue.
that's kind of like a Yamaha blue. Ooh.
Almost, yeah.
Let me try to see if I can see the color shift. It's hard to see in the pictures.
Like you can see it though.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult.
The real
I
life
like
pictures
that.
show way better.
I've walked past an antimatter blue truck and I'm like, oh, cool black truck, and I look back at it for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, the sun hit it in a different
Wait
spot,
a
and I
minute.
look back at it. I'm like, oh, that looks so good.
So this is the real dilemma. You guys have all seen my Subaru in person now, correct?
Yeah.
No, I have not yet.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
You saw it at Riverfront
It was at
the one
Riverfront.
day.
It was the
Oh,
yellow
I didn't
one.
like check it out.
Here,
But okay,
I'll
yeah.
put up a picture of it real quick
Yeah.
if you just want to talk for a minute.
Yeah.
So what color do you guys actually think that is?
Jewish
Like, if you-
Racing Gold.
That's what
Yeah.
I keep
Well,
saying, but
it just is.
but that's
I mean,
not a
that's-
name that you
It's
can
like
call
a-
it.
yeah, I
real
can call
name
it
you
whatever I
can use.
want.
It's not pewter. It's not brown
No.
enough to be
No.
pewter. It's too gold.
Let me share this.
It's
goldish
like a,
yellow.
Yeah, it's like a tannish light bronze.
In order to register for rally, you get 2 words to describe it.
light bronze.
Is it though?
But it's not.
But it's
there's
not- it's
Green
not
and there's
bronze.
silver.
JRG.
Okay, then piss yellow.
But it's not piss yellow. Hold on.
And now easy.
Slightly
now.
dehydrated piss yellow.
Here we go.
Ah, fuck. Okay, that is
Bad
hard.
pee.
Yeah.
That's what you call it. PEE. Bad pee.
But look at this thing.
What color is that?
What like? You're just some random person. You're like, oh,
It
there's
does
a
have a
Subaru.
green tint to it in
Yellowish
this picture too.
silver.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but is
Somebody pissed on something that's really like on a silver ingot. I don't know what to tell
it piss stained grass? I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Chrome got a little bronze stain.
That's too many letters though. Like rusty gold. Like you gotta have like some weird name for it.
Yeah.
Bronzy silver.
So look at this picture. It looks relatively green. Let me hop to this one, and now it's
now
gold.
it's yellow.
Yeah.
Being
This is the
gold.
same spot, the same pictures.
Because
just-
the grass is bouncing.
Well, the
up
sun's
at it.
hitting it differently. Like you can just see it kind of shift back and forth from.
Why don't you just look up what they called? The,
Well, because he
Oh,
does.
it's
paint
champagne gold metallic, but
But so this side looks.
Well, I guess there's gold.
champagne gold,
Yeah.
but this side looks green silver. Like
Yeah.
it color shifts like
The front
crazy.
bumper's definitely been repainted. you can very clearly tell. I don't know if you
Oh, yeah.
noticed.
What do you mean? It looks fine.
Sure.
Where do you
that's
see?
factory.
Where do you see the problems? I don't see any.
I mean,
Problems.
hey, fresh paint's fresh paint. Fuck
Paint,
it. That's a
paint.
W. Bumper's gonna get ripped off anyway. Fuck it.
No, way.
No, how dare
No.
you?
No, you
Way.
actually have a decent amount of ground clearance.
It's a relative.
Mine,
It is a shockingly tall car, all things considered. Anyway, drag and drive. So we got there like 8 something, kind of just wandered around the pits, looked at a bunch of cool cars and stuff. Saw some pretty interesting things. A couple of which I'll try to pop up real quick. You guys want to not stare at the screen too hard. So there's this thing.
I know what this is.
This is a 5th gen Camaro or 6th gen, whatever body
Fifth, I
style
believe,
this
yeah.
is, with a very strange engine in here.
Yep.
The
So-
fuck?
It's a. Do you know what it came out of, Brian?
I know what it is.
Okay, yeah.
But so this is a GM 4200 inline 6. This is what they're calling the GM2JZ.
I was about to say, it looks like a fucking 2J.
It does,
Well,
except it's just
straight
bigger.
6, big valve cover.
Because we walked past it in the morning, and I'm like, at 8:30, you're like,
what the
what?
fuck?
You're like, hold on, what is like?
Yeah.
Look, like,
I watched
hold up.
1320's video.
Wait a minute.
And this was in it for like half a second.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And they said what it came out of. They come out of a Trailblazer.
yes,
Yeah. Because
The new Trailblazer?
no,
No.
the old ones, like
Oh, okay.
the gen that you guys threw away,
Yeah, like
Yeah, that-
the
that
worst
the
Trailblazer they ever
shittiest,
made.
worst engine ever.
But there's a
Oh, you mean
bazillion of
like-
these engines, so
like
who
my
cares?
old work one?
Yes,
Yes.
like that gen that year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just strip all the shit off of it, paint the valve cover, and then throw, I don't know,
Throw some boost at
40
it.
pounds of boost at it.
Yeah, that's a
And
big
look-
ass fucking turbo.
And that's not that big compared to the other stuff here. That's a small turbo still. There's some nasty stuff in this parking lot. But
80 mil, baby.
we walked past it. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. What is
You did
what
a
is
full
going?
double take.
I'm like, is that that's not a JZ? And I'm like, wait a minute. I know what this is. I'm like, that's the GM because it's even got Chevrolet on the valve cover up here.
yeah.
But it's like that's hand painted. Like it could be from anything.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another picture of it? Ooh, and then this thing.
Ooh.
This is one of my
wagons.
favorite cars
Caprice
that
Woody wagon.
that I saw the whole
that
day. Well, it's a
thing's fucking
Ford
dope.
LTD wagon or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So
Is that the one you want to talk
that
about?
is the one.
Okay, I'll pop that up here in a minute. We'll go over this real quick though. This thing is fucking awesome because
Hell yeah.
it's got a Ford Barra inline 6 in it. 4-liter inline 6 big turbo. Like that's a pretty good sized turbo.
Yeah.
This thing screams. It was running like I think he ran a 9 in this thing.
I believe it. Yeah.
It was either 9 or high 8.
Yeah.
In the Barra group on
In this
Facebook, it is
thing.
people who are like anybody who has one in the U.S. is most likely modified, pushing a lot of power.
Oh yeah.
Like the only other people in that group are people in Australia. Like, who makes an adapter kit to put it in a this thing or a that thing? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck who is doing this in the States. I need to learn information off of this.
Yeah, you just want to put one in an off-road build.
Yeah.
Like,
Or a drift car.
the Barra is by far cooler than the Camaro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing's like
Wagon's fun.
that's one of my favorite cars I saw there because like as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, this thing's cool, and then you hear it and you're like,
Yeah, it
hold
sounds
on.
fucking weird. The 1320 video had it in there in one of their videos. I think it was day 2's. It was a video with
Actually, hold on. Here's a video of it spooling right here. Let me try to. It doesn't actually light off.
Oh yeah.
They had to like stop.
This
and
is
change
funny,
something.
though.
But like, you can hear how this thing actually sounds, and it's ridiculous.
He'll launch.
Yeah.
Keep going. And there
just
goes his cooler.
Yard sales the thing.
or water packet of water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's fucking
So
good.
then let me pop up this one that Michael wants to talk. Oh, here's a little fucking
Yeah,
video about
there
it.
it is.
This will be perfect.
Olds 442.
It's a Monte Carlo.
Oh,
So this is a Monte Carlo with
Did you
musical
zoom in on
bullhorns.
this at all?
I don't. I can. I don't know if it'll. How well this will
There you go.
work. Where's the volume?
This is a full body, full weight, full glass,
Ooh,
full
okay.
interior car.
This is like the,
It looks very sharp.
one of the nicest like drag and drive cars. Period.
This on Sick to Mag. If you don't have a subscription and you're not watching this on the Cletus channel, what are you guys doing? It's $2 a day. It's a subscription to a magazine. And
Is it not?
my
Oh, I thought
God,
this was gonna be
is
about
a
the
lot of
car.
fun.
And-
So tune in and
I mean,
come see us.
to
We're
watch the
having
live
fun.
stream, it's a good starting premium.
Man, if you're not watching,
Okay, well, apparently it wasn't about the car, but look at that thing.
That
it's
is-
very
that
pretty.
thing's pretty fucking
Let me
sick.
pop up some
It's
pictures
clean.
of it. It's so nice in person. Any second here.
I will see if I can find
I say it's. I'm trying to find your post. Oh, there's a picture. Here's another picture of it at least.
Yeah.
That'll be good for.
Oh, he's
good
got a
enough for right
fucking
now.
color match trailer, too.
It's
A lot of
yeah.
people do.
But this thing is
That dude
extremely nice. Like full interior with a cage in it, like, and then just gigantic engine with twin turbos on it,
You're having twins.
and a dog, cool little
Puppy
dog.
dog.
But like, you're just wandering through the pits, and everything you see is just cool. There's just stuff everywhere. Yeah. Let me try to go to. If I go to see all photos, was that where I want to go?
Well, hey, I guess if Andy gets his Mustang fixed, we can have a drag team, too.
I'd like to.
There was a
The
couple
thing
of
is like-
Terminators there.
Oh yeah. Well, you can also do a Terminator, but a lot of people do LSs, or they just put
No, there were
Cobra bumpers and shit on it.
Terminators there.
Yeah.
Because you can tell immediately, like when you hear it. I'm trying to scroll back to the beginning of this.
It's
real
the one guy's called Yerview, Yerview. He's got like one of the fastest stick shift Cobras right now.
Sure.
I've watched him a lot on socials and shit. He's definitely fast and definitely does a lot of these events.
Show me some pictures. Damn it. Where are they all at? You're killing me. They're all just... Okay. We'll click through these real quick. So there was a rear-wheel drive converted GTR there.
Good
Wow.
Lord.
Why would you go through the effort of building a GTR and not just keep it all-wheel drive?
Because once it makes enough power and you have enough tire, it'll actually
just
slow you
bored?
down. It was fast. This was in the big tire slick category or whatever. Like,
Christ.
this was one of the faster cars there. They sound like, because it's still that weird VQ like 38 or whatever. They sound very strange. I don't think I like it. I don't.
Like, I would imagine at some point it becomes too unreliable.
The
at a
front wheel
certain
drive
point
or
of
the all-wheel-
horsepower to have all-wheel
Yeah.
drive.
well, yeah.
Probably once you break like 8 seconds in the quarter, it
Yeah.
probably just like it's just drag on the front
Yeah,
axle.
it's just a mitigation at that.
So many big polished blowers. There was one. It was a Camaro blower. It was a Camaro. I should have taken pictures. Next time I do something like this, I'll have to remember. It had 2 blowers like mounted in a V shape on top of the engine. Instead of just one giant
So like
one.
what are the tractor poles?
Yeah.
like
You know, like when
yeah,
they do
similar.
those.
Yeah.
Yep.
Similar kind of idea. And then I think if I'm right,
I actually got to watch that one run down the track while you guys
Oh my God,
were
it's a Datsun.
standing in line, and it was upsettingly slow.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
it ran
looked
like 11
It looked kind of more like a car show thing, but
Is that a Datsun?
Yes.
it is not.
I was about to say
that is a-
the
Oh, this
headlights
guy's
are
got
different.
pictures. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
Oh.
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twin superchargers side by side.
Jesus.
Fuck, that's clean.
That way you get a low cowl height and stuff. Like,
You can still see over the fucking thing.
yeah. So this is Blythe Life Racing.
Holy.
I believe it's a Triumph. So it's kind of the
Oh,
same
yeah.
size
Yep,
and shape.
yep.
Yeah.
I was like the
have any
hood. The hood. I'm
pictures?
guessing it's a Datsun, but the headlights
It's
are different.
Similar shape from the front.
God,
This is
I want a
not the
fucking
guy. This is
Datsun
not the
so
guy.
bad.
Just trying to find more pictures of cool stuff, but it's like there's just so many different. It's pictures and videos all mixed together, so you
Yeah.
miss a lot of.
Yeah, this is a feed, not a
Oh,
photo.
because I'm
dump.
off. I was on 1320. That's where I found them all earlier. That's why. Because I moved to Sick the Mags pictures to look at stuff. Scroll down just a little bit. Try to get closer to day one stuff. Because that's what we all saw. Killing me. 2 days ago.
Like, I don't know if there's really any good video that shows how short the shutdown is at Byron.
Very.
Oh, we've
Byron
talked
As
about
someone
it.
who's done 140 there and on stock brakes from 2003, yeah, it's fucking short, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got maybe an 1/8 mile before you get into where it cuts down, and then you hit sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Cletus went past the turnoff when I was racing. It took everything in my power to slam on the brakes to stop in time.
This picture is not great because I'm zoomed in. on
It's
the
right
big
where the
picture.
tree line is.
Yeah.
on the
So
left-hand side.
it comes up. Your turnoff is right here.
Yeah, right where the black stops is where the
This is
time
where-
boards are. Like that's where your quarter mile ends.
So at this line right here, you're doing a lot of guys are doing about 200 miles an
yeah.
hour, and you need to turn right here. And that's it. Because over here it ends right there.
it is kind. It is on a downhill too. It's kind of starting to flatten out once you hit the boards. But again, it is.
I mean, you're
fucking
going
short.
uphill once you get to the shutdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still.
But you've got maybe an eighth
To
inch.
come down
not.
for an
It's
eighth
not
mile.
long enough.
To come down from 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as you cross it, you throw the chutes and stand on the brakes because you need to like.
Yeah, and
slow that
anybody
thing
fast
down.
probably blows past it and just does a U-turn down at the end, which is
That's
probably
what,
most people.
That's what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
So there was a Supra there, manual Supra.
Is that a Supra?
It would every time it would shift, it would just gunshot backfire.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like it
2J
sounded
things.
real cool. Bunch of cool gassers and altered stocks and stuff.
Sick.
Dudes, a lot of Fox bodies going real fast too. There's just so many things. I didn't take any pictures, which is such a problem.
Boo.
I know. I'm
Well, anyway.
absolutely blowing it. But
So this was Byron day 1.
Yes.
Cordova was day 2.
Yes.
I know that they did a burnout event in was it Sterling Rock Falls?
Rock Falls. They
Rock
had
Falls?
an after party for day one up in Rock
Yeah,
Falls.
it was just everybody had to drive past it anyway, so they did a basically burnout event. Like the city hosted it. Like as all the competitors are driving through, you can do a burnout, and the city's okay with it.
Yeah.
and whatnot. So,
Here's one
that's
more
pretty
car to showcase. This is a 78 Fairmont, I think it said.
Hell yeah.
This thing is very pretty, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on in here.
Good fucking Christ.
This thing was fast and nasty, and it looks so nice. Like everything's very well put together. Apparently, he's been running this car for quite a long time. And it's this beautiful like
Ooh.
pearl red kind of color. It's a super well put together car. Apparently, been racing it for a long time, but it's just so
Good
nice.
for that
There's
guy.
so many things you just look at and you're like, it's so cool. But yeah,
So where did it go after Cordova?
so it went
To Tri-State, I believe.
yes, Tri-State
sounds right.
Dragway,
And then
to Great Lakes
Great Lakes.
Dragway.
Yep, Great Lakes was today, Thursday, when
today's-
we're recording.
Today's and then it'll go back Friday to Byron.
Yeah, which
by-
I'm laid off now. You know,
Oh yeah,
Cool.
Conveniently,
Cool. stuff.
Union things.
yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I run up there. Well, now that a fuck ton of people are out, and specifically Cletus and shit, it's like, well, maybe. And I was also gonna show up late, so I'm like, well, maybe I don't go.
Yeah, that was kind of the main reason we ended up going is because my boss watches Cletus, I watch him, Michael watches him. Like Joe,
You can
Joe
so you guys can
races,
say,
like,
you guys can tell your coworkers, hey guys, they're cool. Let's go. Let's go waste the day.
yeah, it's like it's
They're probably in.
supposed to be a beautiful day. We get there, it's like 72, sunny, not a cloud in the
What
sky.
day was this, Monday?
Monday.
Oh,
Monday
yeah,
and Tuesday was nice.
It was
as fuck.
gorgeous. It's like
Yeah, Wednesday and today fucking sucked.
yeah, I would not want to go today.
Oh,
like
fuck.
it'd be miserable, but
Yeah.
it would just happen to be the perfect day. It was super nice out. Like,
Yeah, Cletus was wearing sweatshirt. They were all wearing
They were-
sweatshirts in their
Yes.
video on
Yeah.
Monday morning.
Shorts. Cause
Yeah,
Florida,
sweatshirts and
because
shorts.
Since they're from Florida.
Yeah, they're like their cold days are like 80 degrees. It's like somebody was giving them shit on Facebook. They're like, man, they need to
Yeah.
work on their cold start tunes.
Oh
The
yeah,
guy was,
true.
like, throwing a fit.
God
He's like,
forbid it's
I don't
70
know why they
degrees.
don't have better cold start tunes for the cars. It's like, dude, they live in Florida.
Yeah.
It doesn't get below 70.
They don't have cold weather to tune for. They can't. What are they gonna do? Park it in a freezer? And like, okay, let's start adjusting. Plus, the car was eating itself.
Yeah, true.
So
Well, first the trans was they swapped the trans out
Yeah.
after day one, and then the
Yeah.
motor proceeded to kill
yeah,
itself.
it turns out the transmission had lost second gear at some point that nobody knows when, but they were checking data, and it's like, or when they got on the street, they could feel it not shift into 2nd. It would just go
Weird.
first and then into third. So they start looking through some data, and they're like, oh, it just never shifted into second. Like as long as we know.
I mean, that was one of their faster passes
Yeah.
they've made.
Yeah,
So
they ran
maybe
a-
that's the key to their success.
ran a
is just running a 2-speed.
A 6.68 at
Yep.
220.
Just fuck second gear. You
212,
don't
I
need
think.
it.
Oh, maybe it was.
I think it was
220.
it's usually like 220 by the
220.
time they get
In the
there.
wise words of Michael, quit driving like a fucking Sally.
That's how you get to go fast, is if you just have someone talk shit to you over text message while you're waiting in the staging lanes. But it's like they did that without second gear. So they looked at their data log. They had spun that big block to like 9,400
Holy
RPM.
fuck.
He's like, that was a bit much. It didn't really love that.
Didn't
So they
like that.
go from there to Motion Race Works to swap their transmission out, and then from there they go try to compete at day 2
at Cordova.
at Cordova, and they wake up and the car's running on 7 cylinders.
Oof.
Yeah,
It broken.
Broke one of the lifters, and they tried to get it out.
running
and it was
on all
still
the
broken.
cylinders, but it was like
Poorly.
chirping like a cricket.
yeah. The lifter had gotten the roller on the lifter got basically twisted sideways and wedged itself into the block.
Ooh.
And you have to take them out
Yeah.
from the top.
Yep.
The only other since it was broken, you should have taken it out from the bottom, but you have to take apart the entire motor to get it from the bottom.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't able to do that in the parking
Which
lot.
I
so.
can't believe there's enough clearance on that it didn't hang a valve open and hit the piston.
I'm shocked.
I mean, I don't know what kind of compression that thing makes, but I would imagine it's got to be pretty close.
Probably all of it.
Enough to unsink
It's
the
probably got a
fucking Titanic.
It's probably got a pretty good dish on the piston. To be
I would
fair,
guess.
I haven't. I guess I don't know. I haven't seen inside of it, but yeah, they ended up running day 2 on 7 cylinders. So you've got
fuck
your
it, we ball.
They went. It was a 761 at 198
Holy fuck.
on 7.
On
you've got
7.
a 4,000 horsepower big block. You take out a cylinder, it's like it probably still makes 2,000 plus. It's like
Oh, easily.
It's like running a 7.6 on 7 cylinders.
Yeah,
is
Cletus
insane.
is like
for that guy.
I give it an 8.3 second pass.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, I think I'd be jinxing myself.
Yeah.
They went down and it was 761 at 198.
Apparently, Cordova's prep was not ideal because it was just hot and
I'm
greasy.
shocked Byron's was.
It was incredible.
Like it got hot eventually, and then it started to get slick. But like on the start of the day, it was every video I watched of Byron the day one. I'm like, holy fuck! It actually is good.
There's actually a good reason for that.
Well, which the year prior, I'm pretty sure they started with slick cars before they did radials, which is
Slick cars like less prep
Okay.
not ideal.
Yeah.
because the tire is super grippy, which they're all drag tires. But like a slick can grip on less aggressive compound on the track, so it doesn't need as much prep to get the car to go down. Where a radial car, which is what most of these are, it's a little bit less aggressive tire, so the track needs to be a little bit better. So if you run your slick cars first, you pull all the prep off, and then you either have to re-prep it for radials or and stop for half an hour or whatever, or just send them down anyway. Because you went last year. Last year was kind of a nightmare anyway because it rained and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rained and
it was
humid and also hot.
the
so
weather is awful. It's
not
raining
ideal.
and every cars are running like 9-second passes instead of 7s and 6s.
Christ.
Because you would just go out and spin the car.
Yeah.
So this year, what was it? VP Racing or whatever?
Yeah, VP. It was VP Racing, but I mean,
Yeah.
they used all their prep.
They essentially sponsored the prep and did it all at all the tracks. That way it was consistent.
Wait,
Yeah,
who did
that's
that?
fair.
VP.
Ah,
Like the racing brand VP. Yeah.
fair, nice.
So like we came out there in the morning and we're kind of getting ready or whatever, and I'm like, that track looks really good because I've
Too good.
seen people at Byron for years spinning like crazy. It's never sticky.
Yeah.
And it's like the first couple of cars line up and it just fucking hooks and goes. I'm like, oh, it's prepped good. Like it's gonna be a fast day. Like a lot of cars ran real fast. It was impressive.
Well, like even in Cletus's video, he's like, I don't think the prep's going to be that good. And then they went out there and hooked it all the way down the track and lit off a faster pass than their tune-up was set up for. So
Yeah, because they got a Florida 680 tune in. Well, when it's 70 degrees and like nice out, that air density is so much better that it just pulled the car like an extra 0.2 faster. It was awesome. Like there was a lot of cool stuff and a lot of stuff broke. Like it was never like crazy. There was one. It was Nick Taylor. He's got a like 80 something Camaro that's obviously full tube chassis, like race car. He got out to about the 8th mile and something in the engine let go. Whether it lifted a head gasket is kind of what everyone's thinking.
So I ended
Or
up
did you
seeing
find
some
more?
pictures on that today.
Okay.
It actually broke the block out. Where the oil filter was bolted to the side of the block was laying on the frame rail.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
don't
so
belong there.
Now I wonder if it threw combustion pressure into the oil galley and it like just
Blew.
bound up at the filter, maybe.
I
But
know,
or if
like,
it just
there was chunks of block
oh my
that
god,
had come apart. So I
Okay.
don't know whether it threw a rod, the block just finally let loose from too much torque,
yeah,
or
something caused
Yeah,
detonation.
micro fracture in there that finally let go.
But anyway, he got out to about the 8th mile, doing probably 160 or whatever,
Cooking it.
and the car just jumps sideways. Like snap of a finger, it's sideways. It like jumps left, hooks, and then turns in towards the wall.
Ooh.
Like immediately. He conveniently had his hand already on the parachute. As soon as it hopped, he throws it and it pulls the car back straight, like a foot off the wall.
Holy shit.
It's like this is at like 9 in the or like 10 in the morning. You're like, holy fuck.
That's a full gotta change your pants situation because I shit myself.
It was moving along real quick. I'd like if he would have just like shifted and had to
Oh,
think
yeah.
about it, he would have slammed the wall hard. But he must have like shifted and then already been on the parachute to grab
been
it.
ready.
Because it's such a short rundown. You have
Oh,
to be
yeah.
immediately ready. So I think he was just enough ahead of it that he could actually get to it and throw it the second it hopped. Otherwise, yeah, he would have fucking smashed that thing hard into the wall. There was a picture of that car somewhere right here. 'Cause I know I saw it. Any second now. This car.
Good lord.
Yeah. This thing is low and mean and fast. And yeah, at about 160 miles an hour, it just jumped sideways. So it must have something
scary.
up in this corner broke through oil in front of the tire, and the tire just spun right
Yeah.
on top of it.
He oil slicked himself.
He literally did. He almost oil slicked himself into the wall. But that's racing. You know, weird stuff happens. So, but yeah, here it is. Here's some stuff. So you can
Yeah, I
see
think
it.
this is the one I saw earlier.
Yeah,
See it
there's
throwing smoke and stuff.
Yeah, there's a little bit of smoke.
There's it with the hood off. You can see at least what's kind of going on there. There's a oil
Wheel.
all over everything. There's pictures of stuff.
Is there no video?
Yeah, right. Oh.
Yeah, that's all oil.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
oil.
that's a lot of fucking
Considering the
oil.
oil should be inside, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. All the puddle underneath.
That black and white picture, him standing there on the phone, yeah, that was him calling his bank going, I fucking broke it again.
No, but still. That
or it was his mom watching the live stream. Be like, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine. So they had to re-prep the whole half the track after that because oil and stuff. But that was really the only like I don't want to say
Close to a
scary
wreck?
moment,
Yeah.
but like
Well,
that was
that's
probably
good.
the most intense of like, oh, what's going on?
Well, that's good.
But yeah, there was a lot of stuff like people not necessarily breaking things, but like getting really close to it where they had to let out and roll. Like there was a Subaru Forester STI
Oh.
yeah.
that was built.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, that looks pretty cool. Like the hood was closed, so I couldn't see anything, but it has cops cam stickers and like enough stickers that I'm like, he probably bought the parts catalog for this thing. He rolled out, shifted to second. I don't think I've seen a car squat that hard all day. It lit and went. I'm like, and then it popped and then rolled off to the side. But I'm like,
that.
Good
it was,
for that guy.
There was a lot of really cool stuff there. If you haven't gone and seen drag racing like in person, like legit fast cars, it is life changing.
When's the next like drag event near us?
Tomorrow in Byron.
No, besides that, like on a weekend.
I don't know. There's plenty going around.
We should go to one. That'd be
Well,
good.
next year after my Mustang's done, I would
Oh,
like
yeah,
to
we could go.
test mine, and
do you
if it's reliable enough, I'd like to do a drive.
Do you
We could
remember?
wear our
Do
jerseys.
you remember your best time when you were like testing and stuff?
11:36.
Okay,
at,
there was
at 1:36.
There was a couple of guys in Cobras, stick shift Cobras. Still, they were running like 10.5 or 10.6.
Yeah, realistically,
Hey,
especially
on
on a
on
good
slicks.
tire, on a good tire, I think I could be competitive at 10 or 10.
I would just like to let you know that you're slower than a 79-year-old man. in an
Yeah,
that is
F-150.
true.
I know.
That
I
is
know.
true, actually.
Well, he has 4-wheel drive, and he didn't have to drive it back home, hungover.
He does have to drive it. That's literally what he's doing.
Yeah, that's
But
literally
to
the
go
whole
back to
event.
Florida, he puts it on a car trailer or
yeah.
on a car hauler.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was my first time ever on a drag strip. I was launching at like 30,000, 3,500.
You were
Because
taking it
I'm like,
easy.
maybe it'll spin. I don't know. These are street tires, and I'm hungover as fuck.
Yeah.
So
And when you have no two-step, you can't actually set anything. You
yeah,
can't build any
realistically,
boost.
like the next time I go out, it'll be trailered, and I will be launching it at $5,000 and sending the piss out of it.
put a drag pack on the back. Actually, put some slicks on like some 15s.
Yeah,
and
that is also the
actually
plan.
get the car to move or start breaking stuff.
Yeah.
One or the other. It
Yeah.
will not be uneventful either way.
But it needs fixed first. But no, ideally next year I'd like fix it this year. I'm selling my house middle of next month. So ideally
Middle of next. That's
yeah,
shockingly
the 17th
soon.
of June or July is when
Nice.
is the closing date on my house.
Okay.
So I'll have $35,000+ in my account to do nothing with.
Well,
so,
that you have to put on
To pay
a
bills.
septic and a well.
Well,
and
yeah,
and
but, you know.
all sort. You'll have it immediately.
ideally buy the Holly for $3,500 and
Mm-hmm.
maybe a clutch, or at least be able to start taking it apart.
Yeah.
like probably buy the Holly just so I don't have to worry about that later.
That way you just have
while I
it.
have the money.
Yeah, that's fair.
I suppose.
And then a clutch if needed is probably $1,500.
Now, what Holly
but
product are you wanting to go
a
with?
full standalone ECU and wiring harness.
Yeah. So like
Completely
probably
ditching the
yeah.
factory computer.
Yep.
So probably a
essentially.
Terminator.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
Terminator X.
Yeah, it's about $3,000.
Yeah, but they're so fucking worth it.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
100%. We go Ford
The
kits.
Terminators are
I didn't
so
click mod
fucking
motor.
nice.
There's a mod motor kit.
Yeah.
Because aren't they like pretty self-learning?
They can be, but if you're running a
Well,
turbo car, you have
yeah,
to
no, I
set
need- it-
boost
Well,
tables,
yeah.
But
Like you set your.
I'm going to be
basic
best friends
stuff.
with a tuner.
Oh yeah.
you're
to say the
yeah,
least.
you're gonna probably have to get HP tuners yourself,
Yeah.
just to even keep.
Oh
up
yeah,
on the
just
thing,
to
but,
look at shit. Yeah.
but yeah, like
But
very
also
simple kit.
gonna do a dash, which is another $1,000.
yeah, but the
it's-
base kit's $1,800.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Then it comes with a little tiny like 4-inch screen.
Mm-hmm.
They make a nicer like 12-inch screen, so you
Yeah.
actually like use it in the car instead of just seeing some
Yeah.
extra.
It will
numbers.
replace my actual gauge cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that'll be a little bit more money, but that's kind of one of those things that really has to happen in
Yeah.
a car. You can't just not do that.
do
anymore.
that. Fix the clutch / throwout bearing, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Get it drivable again.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, do the clutch first, but Once I put another 500 miles of driving around town and actually using the fucking car.
Yeah, because you need to break in the clutch. You can't just wide open.
Well, I think the clutch is fine. I really do think it's a throwout bearing or pilot bearing. I don't honestly know.
I would assume if it's just making
Cobras
noise,
are pretty known for bad throwout bearings.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, so buy the Terminator now. Take apart the car, but I also got to finish my Jeep in the meantime, and
Gotta
also
finish the Jeep
need to swap
and-
my grandpa's truck's engine, which I'm
And
picking
then-
up a parts truck tomorrow for. So
What are you picking up?
05 F-150.
Nothing special.
5.4. Has a bad trans. He got it to be able to drive again. So I'm like, perfect. It'll drive up the ramps
I was
of
just
my
about
car
to say, so
trailer.
it'll drive
That's
onto
all
the
it needs
trailer?
to do.
It'll drive up the ramps and then
has
off
a
the ramps.
new timing chain and tensioner set from Ford OEM parts.
Not installed.
No, installed in the
Okay,
motor. In the
okay.
motor already. Yes.
Okay. You made it sound like it was just like in a box.
Yeah,
or
no,
whatever.
yeah. So 120,000 miles on the motor. Like it's
Okay.
a perfect candidate.
Shit, that's not
1,300
bad
bucks.
at all.
Oh, that's not
About
bad.
2 hours and 15 away in Indiana.
So you could
That's
take
fucking
you could
worth
take a
it.
44-foot trailer for this.
It's the only one I have. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say you could take mine, but mine's all boxed in at home.
Yeah. No, I don't
So,
even care. I gotta get used to fucking driving it, honestly. So
Bobby Big rigging over here.
if I have to park 3 blocks away on the only straight road in town, then fuck it. That's what it is.
You're gonna
drives.
get yourself a CB now.
Nobody uses CBs anymore.
I
What do you
know.
mean? Channel 19, everybody's on the CB.
Don't. Michael works on real semis, so he actually gets.
Yeah.
Explain them to your truck almost, or the semi you were working on almost running
Oh,
away the
yeah.
other day.
Oh.
I was
The
trying to like
runaway
kind of
story?
explain it a little bit, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
So,
anymore.
I work for Kenworth, which is the world's best truck. That's their slogan.
is it
That's their
actually?
slogan.
What is your preference?
It is Kenworth's world's best is the slogan.
That's a bold statement.
So what? Hold on. Before we get into it, what would your preference be out of all the things you've worked on?
I
Volvo
got it.
all the way.
A
No.
Kenworth with a Cummins is fine.
Kenworth
fair.
Model
Good
A.
point.
Yeah,
That-
right there.
This.
Fair.
This.
You ever
Just-
seen Smokey and the Bandit?
Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
that.
Yeah.
That's the truck you want.
Yeah.
Fair.
The Model A. That's your one right there. Anyway.
But yeah,
continue
Kenworth
on.
with his Cummins. That's the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
No Peterbilt fan over here. or what?
Peterbilt!
I can't blame him.
I mean,
my
I could-
my grandpa bought a brand new 05 cat with Kenworth with a cat in it, and he owns it right now, and it's worth more now than what he bought it for.
That's
You
because-
can't go wrong with a cat.
because it has a cat in
Everybody
it.
wants them. They run forever. They're cheap to
C15,
maintain.
baby.
I just remember every single time on the Washington trip, we go, "Oh, Michael, look, there's Kenworth and
They were
Volvo."
Oh yeah, every
out there.
dealership and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, running big interstates and stuff, you'll see a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of them. But yeah.
But so these new, they call them 21B PACCAR engines. So anything pretty much EPA 21 and newer. They did like a redesign. They changed the fuel system up. Basically all the same emissions, and then they changed up like the counter bores and blocks a little bit.
Kind of just a refresh to get emissions to
Yeah.
work.
These new injectors are just purely garbage, and that's a known fact. I mean, they're willing to admit it.
Which is a wild thing for them to actually admit. Because
Like-
normally they're like, well, our guys haven't quite figured that out yet.
We probably change like, I don't know, 40, 50 injectors a week in these trucks.
That's
like,
a lot.
Which
Sets or total?
like
A set of 6.
Yeah.
You change 40 sets a
well,
week.
not
No,
40 sets,
like
but
like
40
7
injectors.
trucks
Yeah.
worth or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 or 7 trucks.
Which is still
a
lot.
week.
On a brand new engine, essentially, or 2021 or
Which,
newer.
speaking of that, we had a brand new truck come in,
Okay.
crank no start.
Oh.
Blew the injector tip off,
Oh my fuck!
wrecked the engine. So
Just
they're
to
sending
say-
us a brand new engine for a brand new truck.
Oh, my God.
Sick.
So-
not numbers matching.
Not
Tanks
ideal.
the value.
Yeah.
But anyway, pretty much
Anyway.
they come in, we do an injector cleaning procedure, which is
Pointless.
basically worthless. I mean,
basically.
it'll make it run again.
It's like if it's on the verge of not running, it'll kind of clean it up, and that's about it.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. It's like, yep, let's change all the injectors now. So I changed the injectors in this truck, and then you run it through injector calibration, and it like cranks the rail pressure to the max, goes through a
It
bunch
like
of
the
like,
ECU like self learns.
Yeah,
and
kinda
it
like-
tests itself out.
lets them balance and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it idles down from the test, instantly starts knocking. And I was like, oh, that's not good. I was like, that doesn't sound right at all. And it's like getting worse and worse. And I'm like sitting there watching, and I can't turn it off yet because it's got to save the warranty data for the test. And
Brother, I got a claim for you.
And it's fuck the warranty.
Say fuck this
I was
warranty.
like, I can't turn this off because they're not gonna believe me. And it's like
Start taking a video and just sit there, just sit down and watch.
it's
while I'm
knocking
recording.
worse and worse, and all of a sudden the RPM just starts going knock, 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 knock.
It starts
knock, knock,
slowly
knock, knock, knock.
picking up.
And it's like coming up, and it hits like 1500 RPM, and I was like, come on, man. I was like, don't do this. It's right next to
damn
my
it.
toolbox. There's gonna make a mess. I was like, Finally, that test completes. I flipped the key off, and it's still just knocking away. And I was like, oh, this is it.
Just keeps going.
And finally, it was like 10, 15 seconds. It slowly starts to come down. And I was like, okay. You're like, well, that's it. We're done with this.
You're like, all right,
Like,
Get it the fuck out of my
push
bay.
it outside. Didn't like one of the service managers like want to start it back up after that or something?
well, that's what they want. Packard was like, well, can we start it up and run a test? I was like, no. Like, it won't
I just
start.
did it.
It bad. There's the result.
Like, I took a big piece of printer paper and taped it to the hood and the door, and I was like, do not start.
Because if it does start, it's going to the fucking moon immediately.
I just remember Michael or Brian telling us this, and he was like, "Yeah, Michael was getting ready to point her toward the field and pop her in gear."
It's like you just put it in drive and go out and move your toolbox and just hope for the best.
Well,
'cause
see, it's an automatic, though, so you can't even put it in gear.
No.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There'll be safeties on it, so it won't.
Because at
kill
first
the
I'm
trans.
like, well, if it's a manual, you just like dump it in like eighth and just like hope it stalls the thing. Like just stand on the brakes and hope it either burns the clutch or stalls it. But yeah, with an auto, you're pretty well screwed.
You're
it's
fucked.
Yeah,
it's gonna go. There's no. It's either the sensors will tell it no, or it's gonna light off and fucking go. Drive through its own brakes. You can't stop it.
I'm just going to start stuffing rags into the intake.
Because all the guys around you are like, what are you doing? Turn it off.
Fuck it to the moon.
You're like-
I don't like my eardrums. How about you?
Yeah. You're just like,
That reminds me of the time over by the Walmart DC. I don't know why the fuck I was driving out that way one day, and a semi had pulled off onto the off ramp and just barreling fucking smoke out the smokestacks. I was like, what the fuck's going on there? And he's just like standing out with his hands over his
Just
over his head.
looking at
And I was
it.
like, I think his clutch pedal's stuck in, and it's just fucking sitting there. And sure as shit, like 5 minutes later, because not 5, we pulled onto the side road and watched him. You could see the bell housing starting to glow fucking red, and then all
my
of a
God.
sudden it just boom.
you just disintegrated. the
Yeah,
thing.
he like blew the clutch out of it, and we're like, huh. Well, let's go to Walmart now.
You're like, all right, I'm gonna go now and just drive away.
That was a good time.
Semis are fucking goofy.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on in there.
Weird
Yeah,
shit.
I hate trucks. I don't want to work on trucks anymore.
Okay, but you don't want to work on cars either because cars are fucking awful to
Yeah,
work
car.
on.
I would rather work on a semi than a car.
Would
Well,
you rather?
you didn't, so
Well,
Well-
he tried to work on a car. You want to go into that real quick?
Sure. Segway.
Did we ever change the oil pan on your Subaru, Michael? Your old one? I know we had. You dented something. I don't know if it was a
no, that
trans
was
pan.
the transmission
Okay.
pan that had a hole in it.
You
I
s-
just continued.
Yeah, I'll
to
say
fill
my
it.
engine oil pan has been dented since Washington.
Since-
or actually, no, the original my old engine was dented from Washington. The current one is dented from the assholes at the wrecking yard who dropped the engine. So it's got a big dent in it. So I bought
Well-
a replacement pan, but I'm like, it's a lot of work. Fuck it. I'll just
Fuck
put a
it.
little less oil in it.
Little
Awfully
little
convenient.
They're not dented from the factory. I thought they were all
must-
dented.
They all look like it, but you know.
They're like babies. They got a little soft spot
So-
on the top. It just crumples in.
So not only do I have to find the engineer who designed the EJ253 and beat the fuck out of him, I have to also beat the fuck out of the guy who said, "Oh yeah, we don't need to worry about being able to take off the oil pan from underneath without cherry picking the fucking engine out." There's 4 bolts in the rear of it. You can only get the fucking 2 of them.
You like the cross member is
in the
physically
fucking
I know
way.
exactly what you're looking
I
at. Yeah.
literally-
Yeah, because I thought about this. I'm like, if I do have to replace the pan, because I brought the spare pan for the main trip.
Oh, I bought the fucking.
I'm like, if
Oil
I
pan
do
gasket.
have to replace this, it's going to be a motherfucker to try to get the back ones out. I was going to start hacking up sockets to make them fit, and
There was no hacking up for this.
Nope.
It was actually like
I believe
because I hear
that.
Marcus underneath there cussing and fucking rolling around and give me this socket, give me a 1/4 inch drive. I might fit in there, this and that. And I'm like, the fuck is going on? I look in there, I'm like, oh wow, this is retarded.
So I had a 1/4 inch drive, 10 mil socket on a swivel
universal
joint.
swivel. Yeah.
In there fucking sideways, I had to have the extension on there without the wrench on there so I could get it up and bent in there the right way.
Wiggle it into place.
And the first fucking universal joint you fucking gave me was so goddamn sloppy it didn't hold itself up, so I had to put E-tape around it to get it to hold in place.
Yeah, it's the 3/8 out of your DeWalt kit at home. That's just fucking
yeah.
Like the pins coming loose.
Yeah,
and-
it is junk.
I
yeah.
buy more swivel sockets than anything else. Like
Swivel sockets or swivel?
swivel joints,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
whatever
extensions,
you want.
Do you get
adapters,
the
whatever.
impact ones or the non-impact?
Regulars.
The impact
Oh,
ones.
so
I
are
don't
worth
put
it.
gotta
impacts
buy-
on them though. I'd still like
It's
they just still blow out so
no.
fast.
I'm telling you,
but,
you just got to buy the impact ones.
but they're a lot bigger. Sometimes
It's
you don't
so
get them
they're
in the
not.
spot.
They're so much better. Hold on.
So I literally went to O'Reilly's
Hold
and
on.
I
Yeah,
We're
see,
gonna-
that's one
we're
of
gonna
the
do
good
this
ones.
first.
okay.
Why is it?
Yeah, 'cause
blue?
they all-
Home Depot.
They have a lot of tension.
Yeah, that's the one you want.
Well, they're a different style of socket. So these are like a spline that drops into almost like a CV joint.
Yeah.
Not like a U joint. So a regular one is like a lower and an upper with a U joint in the middle.
Yeah.
This is like a pressed in ball and socket.
Yeah, I've used them, but
They
again,
work.
like I swear to God, they are thicker than regular.
Well,
or
they're
other ones,
impact
especially
design,
what
you
brand
know.
you get.
Yeah.
but
but
they
yeah.
don't like fall over on top of each other.
Well, I find it funny. Everybody's like, "Oh, 10 mil sockets, I lose them all the time." I'm like, "You guys are fucking morons." I just blow out my fucking swivels.
I did type universal joint. It comes up with like 1310s.
Yeah,
but-
those. Fuck them. They
Yeah,
pissed me
Just
off.
buy new ones.
Well,
They weren't my tools.
Yeah.
Exactly. No one ever cares about the fucking tools at your
So
guys' parents'
These
shop.
can pivot just either way loosely.
Yeah.
Well, the set we had was so loose it wouldn't stay upright long enough to hook it together.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the preview, you can see it's like wallowed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one's bad, but
Yeah.
like
So
that's
yeah,
their
got,
pictures.
got all the bolts off except for the back two, and I was like, well, I can see why this leaks now because there's RTV on all of these fucking bolts. So we're just gonna put it up and hope it doesn't leak anymore.
Because somebody else did the same shit and went, well, fuck this, and just wiped gray RTV on
Yeah.
everything.
So
Luckily, it doesn't leak that bad.
what was it? Last Sunday?
That would have been
Sunday.
Yes, that was
Yeah,
Sunday.
So Sunday.
Again, with you trying to fix this piece of shit motor,
It's not trying.
just stop
to
caring
fix.
about it.
It's not.
He's stopped trying, I think.
It's
I don't
not-
think so.
It's not trying to fix. It's trying to keep it alive.
Did
No,
you ever get
oil.
it to stop overheating?
Yeah, that's a bigger
No.
issue than
Haven't
let's
figured that
replace
out
the
yet.
oil leak.
no,
Hey, you
didn't-
know, the funny thing is, mine runs so cool. The temp gauge
maybe
doesn't
you
even
could.
move.
your temp gauge is broken.
Mine doesn't
That-
either. I swear to God, I think mine's broken. I'm like,
Michael's
it's
is
never
broken.
gotten hot ever.
Mine is actually definitely broken.
It just
I
sits.
ordered a
Mine's just a 2.2 liter,
temp
and they're
gauge to actually
unkillable.
put in there because mine
Oh,
does
yeah.
not work.
It literally
But-
doesn't do anything. Yeah.
So Sunday we cleaned and flushed the radiator and put in that stop leak stuff that you, Michael, recommended.
K-seal?
Got to take
Yeah.
a K-seal.
Yeah.
Shit's fucking.
He opens it up. He
expensive.
looks. He's like,
Yeah.
it's all like weird.
But
in
that
here.
shit works. That's why
K-seal
it's
does
expensive.
work.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sponsor K-seal.
I wish
God, I
if they.
fucking-
I don't know what we
Please,
do-
I need, just give me enough of it to fill my entire fucking radiator.
Yeah, this shit.
It's only
K-seal,
like
if
a
you
gallon.
are listening, we're looking for racing sponsors.
Oh my god! I would
all
paint the
have
whole.
Subaru.
Oh, dude,
God,
that'd be
yeah.
fucking hilarious.
I would paint the whole car blue and
the,
orange.
the red.
No, you have to let Marcus
Subaru
do that because his is going to
sponsored
be the
by
one using it
K-Seal.
all.
Why is yours sponsored by K-Seal? Because it leaks
Because it's a
like
fucking
a fucking
Subaru,
sieve.
you idiots.
If we filled the entire cooling system with K-Seal, what's the worst that could happen?
It doesn't flow.
It doesn't.
Ladies
have
and
any
gentlemen, I
cooling.
found a viral video on YouTube. Let's make it.
Let's make this happen. It's so expensive. This
Wait a
shit
minute.
is not
now,
cheap.
now, Cletus was just looking for some more science experiments. Just
Ooh.
tell him to buy the whole thing of K-seal and fill a crown back up.
fill it with the fucking Blue Devil head gasket sealer.
like,
That's
just tell him to take the head gaskets out of a car. And
I
fill the
just
cooling
fucking
system
start
with it.
drilling holes in the head gasket and fill it with like
Oh, that's funny.
Blue Devil's like $80 a fucking quart or
and
something.
and this is just a gasket sealer because they recommend that you get their own coolant
Oh, yeah.
flush to flush it all out too.
oh yeah, and you could never find them in stock anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
No, O'Reilly's had it, but I wasn't paying
Yeah.
$80 for.
So have
No.
you had any success with your K-seal yet? Or
I don't know. I haven't
have not
had.
checked?
I haven't taken it on the highway, so
You don't really
I'll
drive it to
know
work anymore.
Saturday because I'm going to Plano for sheds.
okay.
But so
So at the very least, what all did we do?
so we did a full radiator and coolant flush.
Mm-hmm.
Took the old coolant out. Put new stuff in.
Did the non-approved process of using the garden hose, which is not distilled water.
Hey, I do that all the time at work. It's
fine.
It was
It's
fine,
fine.
except you for some reason I don't know if one of the hose clamps wasn't tight. We'd fill it up, it would just leak out the bottom.
Well, so when we washed it out, I opened the petcock on the radiator, and I had already pulled the thermostat out.
Yeah, that's
so
what
the
it was.
thermostat O-ring wasn't in there, so it was just kind of
Just a
pissing out the
little
side.
bit of a leak.
Yeah, fuck it. It's fine.
Anyway.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Did a full oil change because it needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
What do you use for oil?
Conventional 520.
What brand?
Oh,
tell
no.
him. Tell him
The
the brand.
Royal King brand.
Providence brand
Oh.
oil.
520.
No, it's 530, wasn't it?
I don't know. Whatever it normally
know.
takes.
Whatever
it
it
wasn't
was.
1540.
Fucking
It wasn't
lame.
high weight diesel oil. I was like, look, I need to save some horsepower somewhere.
You're missing out. You're losing oil pressure.
Fuck oil pressure if it's gonna get me more RPMs.
That is such a Subaru owner thing to say. Is like,
fuck the oil.
You know, I
pressure.
run 1040 and I don't have any problem.
do you
with
run that in
RPM.
your new one?
Yeah.
It's
I
fine
went
though.
from 1540 or
You stepped
yeah.
down from 1540 to 1040.
to 1040.
Oh, the
Maybe that's
luxury-
what I'll switch it to next.
the luxury choice 1040.
1040.
I
So
mean, you can buy 2050.
fuck no, the engine will blow.
No, that's what I ran in my Volkswagen. It was fine.
Right.
It ran great.
So
Got a lot of zinc in there.
yeah, tried to
Tried to
do
change the pan.
the oil pan gasket, failed miserably at that.
Got every bolt out, and then realized there's two that you can't get to.
Then I went to go do rear brakes because the rears were squealing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I'll just fucking throw some cheap ass pads in there. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And
Andy's the only one that hasn't seen this yet, so
yeah.
we'll get his live reaction.
so pulled the driver's side rear tire off,
So
and
let me pop these up full screen.
Okay.
So, do you see what I see here? How there's like
Go-
tread here,
go to the other picture.
and then there's no
What the
tread,
fuck?
and then
Go-
there's
go to
tread.
the other
it's
picture shows it
sideways
better.
chopped.
You know, I'm still
One
calling
more.
blown belts in the tires.
Yeah, it almost it has to be.
like full tread.
yeah,
no
no,
tread.
it's
Full
not,
tread?
It's not a bad alignment chop.
No,
It is a
Well-
that has to be belts.
So here's the other thing.
I've also seen like really cheap semi tires wear like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they are
gotta be.
older-ish winter tires.
What brand
and-
are these tires?
they're Hankook.
Yeah,
Are they?
Hankook.
Yes, they're Hankook.
Wow.
You can see the H right there.
So
Like they should be a halfway decent. Now they're probably not made for running in the summer on hot roads with full pressure in them, but
fuck it.
but not that it would do this because he rolled it off. He's like, hey, he's like, what's this? He's like, look at this. And I look at it. I'm like, oh, these are fucked.
Yeah,
I mean,
you were at the
I was
very rare points where Brian goes, "You shouldn't fucking drive this home."
yeah. I'm like, whatever's causing this,
Oh,
need
you would
to
hate
fix
to see
it.
my front right tire.
is it worse than
Yeah,
this?
it's probably showing belts, and I guarantee that tire only has 40,000 miles.
I don't
on
care
it.
about tires that are worn out.
No,
I
they're
care
not
about
worn.
tires that
No,
look
no,
like
no.
this.
It's only wore out about 1 inch of the fucking.
Yeah, but that's a bad alignment.
You
That's
know,
fucking.
I do
that's,
recall you driving the Blue Ranger.
no, we're not
with
talking about nope.
Yeah.
tires
Nope.
with
Oh yeah.
re-blown
The
belts.
I have
There's
never
3
been
of the
more
4
scared in a
tires
vehicle.
have blown belts.
Those were pretty scary.
I've done
drove
180
speed
mile an hour. I've been fucking sideways. I've been rolled over in my Jeep. I've never been more scared than driving the fucking Blue Ranger
It was
over
fine.
bumps.
It was sketchy over
Genuinely
bumps.
sketchy.
It wasn't all tire. It was just bad alignment. Too,
Oh, bad
but
alignment, and then just death
it was
wobble
that
and
thing.
sketch.
It was cheap and sketchy since we got it. But,
oh god, yeah.
But
regardless, I look at this and I'm like,
Shit's
I'm
fucked.
like you shouldn't. They shouldn't look like this. First off, I've never seen wear like this.
yeah, that is interesting.
So we start flipping the tire around to look at stuff. I'm like, oh,
Is that the only one with like that?
it's the worst one
it's
like
the
it
worst
by
one.
far.
The passenger side was the same, but like
Not. It was like
an eighth as bad as this.
not. Yeah, it was like full tread and like 90% tread, like
Yeah.
next to each other. It wasn't this.
Is this
bad.
also a combination of blown rear struts, and so it's kind of the
We'll
damping's
get to
kind
that.
of weird?
We'll
one,
get to that.
One thing we were
It was
considering.
either suspension damage, a bushing that was fucked up. Well, okay, I shouldn't say suspension damage. It's just the clear coat
It's paint.
bullshit.
I'm like, is there a huge crack in the wheel there? But no,
Nah,
it's
it's
not.
fine. So it was either
It's aluminum. It doesn't crack. It explodes.
the wheel became unbalanced or wasn't balanced from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
suspension worn out,
You know,
or
I
a
don't
bushing
foresee
fucked
tire unbalanced.
Yeah,
Well,
you would have
just
felt
unbalanced
it.
wheel.
Well,
To be
you
That
might
kinda
feel
wear.
it now that it's worn bad.
They are
You
in-
would have felt it immediately.
They are in fact have no weights on any
Yeah,
of the tires.
They
I
had no
still
weights
say
on the
that
rear.
is a myth,
Balancing tires.
not a real thing.
It
It's a scam.
bullshit.
Charge
it's a
you more
scam by
money.
big lead to sell more weights.
You know how expensive lead is? I mean,
It's fucking
it is
expensive.
like costs real money.
It does, but
So
anyway,
Uh,
these are fucked.
yeah.
immediately.
Cool.
All I'm
Absolutely
saying
fucked.
is you don't balance semi tires.
You balance steer tires.
No.
What?
You don't
Fuck you
balance
mean?
a steer
It
tire?
is extremely rare that you see a semi with wheel weights.
Really?
Well, it's probably got balancing beads in them, don't they?
No.
Bullshit.
Really?
Sometimes they put these stupid like metal rings with the beads in them. They bolt
What?
them behind the wheels. Waste
They
of
like
time.
they balance like the whole hub almost instead of the
and
wheel.
You pull it in here. And I was like, what the hell is that?
He's like, there's a bad bearing in this fucking
Bad
thing."
bearing.
Something
God
sounds
damn it.
weird.
I'm gonna get paid more.
Yeah, no. Almost never are semi tires balanced.
Weird.
That's all right. Well, these are fucked either way.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
so
I'm like, I don't know what's causing this, but you should get new tires.
yeah.
Because
So we started looking for new tires. We were in between. I don't even know what the fuck the brand.
well, we
was
just
at
kind of checked
Walmart.
all the web. We checked Walmart and then Amazon and then this and that. Just like what's cheap and good enough.
So Walmart and Amazon for the same tire were the exact same price.
Pretty much the same price.
So of course I called King.
I'm just like
and
I'm like
got
Monday
quoted.
morning, just call King, see
which
what
I
he
did.
has.
He was cheaper.
No.
Yes, but no.
No.
He was in fact a
Okay,
bit
tell
more.
me the difference. By
No,
what,
it's
$40?
$50, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Exactly.
But it was like, do I order shitty tires from Walmart and have Walmart put them
Fucking
on,
some random
or
ling-longs and
just go take them to fucking King's and have them
have
do
the
it?
crackhead at Walmart
I would
balance your tires.
highly recommend not having your tires put on at Walmart.
Well, yeah.
So my friend Mark
Yeah.
got tires put on at Walmart like 3 months ago,
Okay.
and he was having some issues with his brakes.
Uh-oh.
So he brought it over. We took off the driver's side. Whatever. We did some other stuff. Changed the CV axle, ball joint. Go over to the passenger side. Check out the brakes. All 6 lug nuts were cross-threaded.
Ooh.
Oh, both my front wheels are currently cross-threaded
I
because
was
the
like-
threads were fucked up
From the
Ugly
previous
dugout.
one.
Dugout.
Cross-thread all 6 lug nuts.
By not
With-
giving a fuck and with an impact.
No, not even with an impact.
Like-
It's still easy. Just turn them one thread by hand and then run them in.
Yeah.
You know how many bolts I start with an impact? Like-
All of them.
You have
Well,
to
you're
use-
a
just
you're
started
a
slow.
good
And
mechanic.
you-
Hey, you're a
you-
professional.
still-
There's a difference between you and a Walmart mechanic.
This is true. You don't work at Walmart, to be fair.
I guess. But
That's got to be the difference. But anyway,
But, so,
I mean, hey, Steve Summers was a Walmart tire tech.
and
so-
look at what he did to his fucking front lugs.
Hey,
when he
yeah, I'll
ripped-
say Steve is known for having bad
Bad lug
tires
nut.
fall off and bad studs.
yeah, rip
so.
studs out of 5-lug fever.
Yeah, God forbid.
Nobody likes 8-lug stuff anymore, except for everybody because it like holds up.
but so
Shit.
decided I would go get 4 tires,
Just do them
mounted
all.
and balanced, and a 4-wheel alignment at King, which I dropped it off this morning to get done. They got done this afternoon. They called me and they said, "Well," and I went, "Fuck, here we go."
Here it is. That's why I'm like getting alignment done. 'Cause
Yes.
If
Yeah.
something's fucked up, that's the quickest way that they'll
Yes.
find it, and then they'll let you know.
Which was nice because when he called me and
And
told
we had the
me
front end apart
that-
like 3 times.
Yeah,
But anyway,
and that's something was wrong, which I'll get to. I was like, "Is it still up on the lift?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "All right, just if the tires are already off it, just literally take 5 fucking minutes and just do a walk around. See if the suspension's good, all the bushings, everything.
just check it
take
out.
2 minutes, fucking take a
This
look.
was a cheap car.
It
mind
was a
you.
cheap car.
was the key
Why
word
do you
was.
fucking care about this pile
Because
of
if I'm gonna
junk?
put $400 fucking
put an
dollars
engine
worth
in
of
your junk.
tires,
Yeah,
this is
fuck
true.
you. You put an engine in yours.
for 200, it was a lawn ornament. Now it runs and drives into as a daily driver.
Whatever.
Your car was perfectly fucking fine. You could have put $100 worth of tires on it and been fine. But you don't. You keep throwing money at this, and you're gonna be pissed off when you're broke.
I'm fucking broke all the time. Whatever.
Stop
Fuck
spending
you.
money
It's
in
my
stupid
car.
fucking ways.
Fuck you.
Stop complaining you're broke,
bitch.
then, idiot. I've been telling you since day one. Stop caring about this fucking car, and you still care about it.
So good.
God,
It's like a
you're an
love-hate
idiot.
relationship.
No, you're a fucking idiot.
It's an abusive relationship.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you are getting robbed daily, and you don't even fucking
Nah,
care.
it's
Whatever,
fine.
man.
So he calls me and he's like, "Well, we can't do the alignment." And I was like, "All right, how bad is it?" He goes, "You have one outer tie rod that's a little worn out, and it'd just be kind of pointless for us to do an alignment."
Well, that's not that bad.
I was like, "Cool, $30."
Yeah.
Yeah, if everything else. Well, did they try to align it and go, "Oh, the front's loose"?
Yeah,
Okay, so the back is fine.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
back's fine. So that was my bad news for the shit box.
Well, that's-
Didn't have to pay
that's-
an extra $120.
That sounds like good news.
Yeah,
So you did get new tires.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get them on yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
you
on.
know
They're
What you
mounted.
should have done, you shouldn't have taken it up to ACC. Had them do it.
That's actually fair, yeah.
Oh, fuck, we didn't think about that.
I had them do the
Next
fuel
time.
pump in my last car and an alignment. Cost me like $180.
Wasn't it like 8 hours of work to get the fuel pump out of that thing, though?
Yeah, something like
It was
that.
like, it was
Fuck them
impossible.
They had to
kids.
like take the back seats out to get to the fuel pump
Yeah,
through
you
the
do.
floor.
Yep.
Hey,
It's
at
some-
least they could get to it through the fucking floor. It didn't
I
have
mean,
to
I
drop
dropped my
the whole
tank to do the filler neck hose.
Yeah.
And it was like, you have to drop the rear subframe that holds all the fucking control arms on. Then you start to drop the tank enough to get the fucking hose out.
You drop it a little
Put the new
bit.
fucking hose in. Fucking
And start-
crank it
just
all
start
on.
wiggling
I'm like,
shit.
all right, cool. Zip tie. There's fucking impact the fucking subframe back up. Hope it stays tight.
fine.
And call her good
It's
enough.
fine.
Nobody torques things.
But yeah, so I got some iron head reflexes. They're
What?
the cheapest tire fucking king sold. I was like, sold.
I'm like, the cheapest that they sell is probably quite a bit better than the cheapest that Amazon or Walmart sells.
Yeah.
For an extra, couple of bucks.
It
here
was
and
like
there.
$8
Because their
more a tire.
their supplier goes through inventory like
Yes.
crazy. Amazon and Walmart finds the oldest, cheapest shit in the
Yep.
corner and lists it as brand new.
And the
These
difference
are
is-
brand new tires. He had to
Yeah.
order them.
And the
'cause
difference
they didn't
is
have them in my
you can
size.
walk into King and yell at him if something's fucking garbage.
Well, yeah.
Where Walmart's like, oh, I don't
I don't give
care.
a fuck.
Like, figure.
Yeah,
you
that
can't
too,
go
yeah.
yell at Amazon.
These are probably about like the Omni double coins I get in on semis, and guys are like, I just got these tires put on, now my steering wheel shakes.
Maybe if they balance them.
Honestly, it's kind of weird not to hear the.
They
the
were
one
noisy.
going down
the one
road.
dump trailer at work today, I noticed. I looked down. I'm like, oh, Linglong. Look at you, motherfuckers.
Linglong,
See,
yeah,
they
those
had
are
them
the
on.
good
They had
ones.
every trailer tire was a Linglong. I'm like,
and
that's
big
great.
beefy boy.
I haven't seen these fuckers in so
The
long.
cheapest tires that exist on the
my
planet.
friend.
Yeah.
Ling
Good old
Long.
fucking. I laughed. I literally sat there. I looked down. I'm like, and I went back up and fucking threw a load of way oversized concrete. I'm like, here you go. Send that shit back to the plant.
Have fun with your
Christ.
Linglongs. So does it ride a little bit better now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And even like the steering isn't tilted as much to the
It
side
kind of
now.
just feels better.
It feels better.
I say winter tires on highway aren't really great. They work, but
They work.
it's
but
not- they're-
Man, were they fucking balls.
They
so
they're not
what you're
made for
saying
that.
is I got to put Wild Peaks on my car now because I'm at a traction disadvantage.
Compared to the Iron Man fucking or Iron Head radials.
Dude, I'm on all seasons now. You're good.
Okay.
I'm on like summer tires.
Yours look about the same as these, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's not much tread in this. Now,
Mine are going to look like that also.
yeah, you guys are all gonna have.
There's a
Same-ish.
$120
Well,
set
okay,
of 4 in
so-
El Paso, and the dude said he can mount them. I'm like,
That's
sold.
a win.
That is sold.
Quick little side tangent. Have you figured out if you can be in stock class?
I don't care. I'm just gonna show up.
Okay.
Well, you
Because
have free.
Just like
I-
register for stock. And
I had
if
to
they tell you
make-
no,
Well,
then
I honestly, I might not even change the fucking tires over. I really just say,
You can
like,
just be
whatever
prepared.
happens, happens.
I had to
Because I
make
also
s-
might
God
do
damn
the
it.
spring spacers, and I also am eventually planning to do disc brakes in the rear.
then you might as well just go to prepared to start
Exactly.
off with.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Like, I'll show up now without the brakes and without the other tires and be like,
Yeah.
hey, the only thing is this thing has a
well, when you
hot air intake
Yeah.
and a fucking set of big wheels.
yeah when you pre-register, you have to select your class anyway. So it's like
Yeah.
you could select stock.
Yeah,
but
they're
if your
like,
whe-
nah, this ain't going for stock. Then I'm like, all right, cool.
if your wheels don't fit stock, then you might as well not even bother and just go straight to prepared because. If they don't follow the rules clearly,
Yeah.
there's no point in pretending like, well, that's how I got it stock.
Well, yeah.
It came like that.
So you'll probably just be
I'm honestly worried about taking my front wheels off because I'm pretty sure every lug nut is cross-threaded. So it's like,
Yeah,
do I even take them off or do I just say fucking
I
send
would
it?
wait till next
I would
month.
just go to prepared anyway.
Yeah,
There's
kind
no-
of what I'm feeling.
You're
But
gonna
yeah,
put
'cause
discs on the back.
The only thing I
anyway.
want to do is compare my time to yours anyway, which I'll get in a time.
Yeah.
So.
The time will be the
the
same.
only reason Marcus wants you to go to prepared is he thinks he's still got a shot.
I'm gonna. I
Look,
am
Michael,
absolutely.
look, this
going
is
to
all
just
we have to
rub my
do.
number in your face.
You get first, and I get third with 8 people in our class,
enough
and I
people-
get a fucking trophy.
enough people to
That's
get all.
all I give a fuck about.
If I can
I
take
want
down
my third place
a
trophy.
WRX, I will be thrilled.
Your car moves along pretty good. I'm actually pretty surprised.
I am probably willing to run my car harder than he is.
See, and that's the thing.
and that's-
Again, stop caring about your car,
I
Marcus.
wasn't caring about it. I was trying.
you wouldn't
look,
even run first gear.
I did run first gear,
For
you
5
fucking
seconds.
cocksucker. I
You're
got
like,
the
"Oh,
RPMs up there, and bam,
I put it in
the
first
second.
gear, and then I took it and put it in second. And I was like, Well, that was dumb.
race car. See, this is why Michael's a great
Slow.
captain. While he's watching,
See,
he's like,
this is why
he's texting me. He's like, "Why are you driving so slow?"
I run my fucking radio. Because
Yeah.
somebody in the middle of the race, Michael could go, quit driving like a bitch. And I go, fuck.
We need like full racing headsets like they got for.
So
We have the mics for the Baofangs.
We technically could.
I
clip
did
it on your shirt.
No, I did
Well, they got to
look
be
this
able
up.
to go on the helmet though.
Bofang does sell the
yeah.
actual in piece with the mic. It's like $25.
yeah.
And it's got the push to talk and everything.
Well, you
But-
don't have to talk when you're racing. Just have the fucking thing cranked all the way up.
Well, yeah, that's what
The
I
problem
can hear
is
whoever's
the
talking
problem is
to you.
whoever's not racing is corner working, and you
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing things other than corner
Oh,
working.
well,
Oh,
yeah.
So you
well, I
kinda-
did that.
Well, you're not supposed to.
I didn't have the radio.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be corner
Hey,
working. That's
Chloe
was
will be
corner
a
working.
spectator. She could be the
She'd
be
be
the
like
fucking race
the shit
advisor.
talker.
You'll have Nick back there going, I think you're doing all right.
as you're as we're rolling in about.
Chloe be like, I don't know. There's a lot of dust. Have fun.
Yeah. Instead, Michael's like, your tires aren't even squealing. What are you doing? Fucking drive harder.
You need to go faster.
Yeah. You're like, why are you going so slow? I'm like,
These
'cause
Fiestas
Oh.
are making you look like fools.
Fiestas are so fucking
Oh,
fast.
the Fiestas are so cool,
They're-
though.
They're rowdy when they drive around.
Speaking of Fiestas, remember that one that was on Sick Week?
There was a gray one on Six Summer, yeah.
Yeah, so he either busted the rings out or cracked a piston.
Oh
so
my
he
God.
is out of Sick Week.
It just disintegrated halfway down the track or whatever.
It's like I check my phone like every other hour at work,
Yeah.
and I just like scroll through the Sick Week page, and it's like, oh, I'm out because of this. I'm out because of this. I'm out because of this. And it's like, rip, son of a.
To be fair, this weather is nasty. It's
It's
probably
like,
hard
yeah.
on stuff, but
I mean, there has to probably be at least 100 people out from Monday.
I think the whole event is like 318 people or something is what it
Yeah,
said.
Christ.
So it's like to lose 100 of those in 3 days is pretty nuts.
Well, they're also like some of the most competitive, so they're
yes.
every tolerance is as tight as it can possibly be. They are running them as
Running them
balls to the wall
hard.
as they possibly can.
Yeah.
To try and get the competitive edge.
Yeah, if-
like it happens.
And drag and drive stuff is just hard. There's just no way around it. You know, making pass after pass, heat of the day, you just get what you get.
Like, Mr. Sam has a valuable chance at winning. I'm pretty sure today he ran an 11:37.
Oh my God.
Who's
Let's
valuable Sam?
He's
no,
Mr.
Mr. Sam. It's
Oh.
the
he's
old
one
guy
of the
in
guys.
Cletus. Yeah.
Sam Lampert, I think.
Yeah, Sam Lampert.
Start watching
Mr.
Cletus.
Sam Spray Wax.
Yeah. Spray Wax
Yeah.
Express.
Yeah, that's his
There
true.
Oh, my God.
Why are all these
He's
pictures so
75 years old.
small? 79.
79. Oh, I thought it was
I'm
75.
trying to find a good
yeah.
picture of him.
Damn.
Just put him with the spray wax.
Yeah. This dude.
Yeah.
That
Just
dude
an
sucks.
old dude.
This is Cletus McFarland, who has thousands of horsepowers of cars.
Yep.
And Mr. Sam. He's just
Mr.
He's
Sam
just there to
owns
have
a
fun.
C5 Corvette, a blue SVT Lightning, like an old one SVT Lightning. What does he have now? What did Cletus buy him?
Supra.
He has a
He's
silver-
Oh,
Supra.
the cleanest Supra in the country.
one of the
most
nicest
likely.
Supras.
The Spray Rack Express, which is a
His F-150.
brand new F-150 with a Whipple on it. He has a lot of like pretty sick cars.
Yeah, that's his Supra.
This is literally one of the cleanest in the country.
Good lord.
compared to Cletus' Supra, which is not
The
one of
Rat
the
Rod
cleanest.
Supra.
Rat Rod Supra.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit faster,
Definitely fixed.
Yeah.
but like it is
Yeah,
unbelievably
his is tastefully
clean.
modded, like carbon as much as you can, like just
Every,
the
like,
best wheels, the
factory-ish
best.
option.
Oh yeah,
That bitch clean.
It's very nice.
yeah.
Like-
What's the title of the page? The cleanest JDM find. Yeah,
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
this thing's extremely every little tiny option that should be in there is put in there. Like it's very nice.
is it a manual?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure
Can you
it
even
is.
get it in an automatic?
You can
Yeah, there's a
actually.
That
fuck
would
ton
be
of
a
super.
terrible
Well, yeah,
option.
no, it'd suck to have one, but yeah, no,
You
there
can
are
get
a shit
them.
ton of
You
automatic.
can get them
Supras.
non-turbo and automatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some fucking gross ones out there, but
Disgusting.
well, the one in Fast and Furious when they bring it on the wrecker is a non-turbo 2JZ. They
Oh,
pop the hood
yeah.
and they're like, oh, it's a 2JZ. Well,
Oh yeah.
the budget didn't allow for a turbo car, so it's an NA 2JZ.
They should have
Fun.
just
Yeah,
stuck
but
one
why
in there.
would somebody ever put that kind of money into
into an NA one
an NA one?
because
Like,
they
it's
wouldn't. Yeah,
Gross.
but yeah, like,
non-car people
Sam
trying
is
to buy something cool?
I think Sam has been ripping cars for like 70
Oh yeah,
years.
no.
Like
he
is-
owned his own detailing products like way back when.
Yeah.
Retired, did nothing for 10 or 15 years. And then he's
got
like,
bored.
"Oh, hey, I'm next."
Oh.
He was next door neighbors with James, which is Cletus's best friend essentially. Then James is like, "Hey, I need to introduce you to Cletus." They all hit it off. Sam never left, and now he's just one of the coolest people ever. And
Yeah.
and now owns another amazing. Like I'm assuming the spray wax now is way more successful than his
I'm
own detailing
sure.
product was
Gonna get this to line
because
up.
of the backing with Cletus.
Oh yeah, when you've got a humongous social media presence that you can kind of pull off of. But yeah, like there's his
Polished.
F-150 with a polished Whipple supercharger.
God,
Look
that
at all the
thing's
dust
tits.
on it. Oh.
This is on day 4 of the Dragon
I
Drive.
know.
The fact it's still this shiny is impressive. But
I need to text Steve and be like, drive to Byron tomorrow morning and do a full polish on this thing in the parking lot.
what is this?
With the polished trailer.
What's
I don't know what this is for.
that's Parker's boat engine.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is okay. I'm like, I just see like this.
yeah, it's a Cummins, isn't
I
it?
just see this picture and I'm like, what is this thing? But yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't watched his thing on it. But
I have not seen that, but yeah, it's
Okay.
Parker's boat engine.
But yeah.
He got that from like Thailand or some shit.
Yes, because they make some wacky stuff over there. But yeah,
All wooden boat with a Cummins in it. Hell
but yeah, that's Mr. Sam. He's a real cool guy.
Old man.
Yeah, he just so happened to be neighbors with one of the guys, and then he's like, "I got to introduce you," and now he's just
And happens to be just a super cool guy too. Yeah. So yeah, so Subaru's got new tires. Rides
Yep.
better.
Yeah.
Probably won't be slower because it has good.
Probably
tires
won't
now.
be faster.
No, probably not.
Look, it needed new tires.
Speaking of should be faster, I did finish my car's things the other day.
Oh, yeah. Did you get her done? Did you ever figure out what the fuck was up with that other coil?
It was just different. What
okay.
I replaced spark plugs. The third cylinder that I changed, I don't know which number order it is, but
From left to right.
From left to right, the third one didn't want to thread out or in. It was just like tight the whole way in and out, but it threaded fine and had like it stopped at the end. It wasn't like weird, but
Can I request that we get a side-by-side picture of old headlights to new?
I don't know if I have an old headlight picture.
Did
Michael,
you finally clean them up? We've only been telling you that for, I don't know.
no, while I was working, Michael just came out. He's like,
Good for you,
fuck these
Michael.
headlights, and just
Good-
started
good for you.
polishing
I
them.
was in like
They look way better.
my shorts and flip-flops, and
Yeah.
I was like, I've had
I'm
enough
tired of
your
looking at
headlights.
this.
I can
they're not yellow anymore.
I
so they're
almost
way
did it the
clearer.
one day. I was like, do I need to go and get my headlight polish
Just
kit
get
from Jason?
toothpaste.
And you
No,
know,
I just took my like buffer for
Yeah.
for doors and put a little like compound on there and just went to
Just
town.
cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Nice. Look
but
a lot better.
race
Good job,
cars
Michael.
don't need headlights because the track is always lit.
Yeah, but they need to be shiny.
They are way shinier now. But anyway, here's the car on its fresh
Did you, like,
hubs and bearings. and
Clear
stuff.
coated or something? Put a
No.
UV?
No,
Okay,
fuck
fine.
no.
No.
No, they could fade tomorrow. It doesn't
Purely
matter, but
cut on the headlights.
just cut. But you can see the extended lug studs sticking through
Hell yeah.
quite a bit wider now. You can see a little tiny bit of that 10mm spacer poking through.
Hell
In
yeah.
the pussy slit.
No,
No, Nick's
no,
not
Nick.
here. We can't say it.
The paint on my doors, the gray just didn't stick apparently.
Do you have a picture
Especially
of
on the
other side?
driver's
The driver's
side.
side's
Yeah,
way
driver's
worse.
side. So
But you can see exactly where the outline was. It just peeled.
Why didn't you just leave that on?
Because we have the new ones with
Guess,
proper numbers that
Yeah,
aren't just
new ones with
okay,
printed
fair.
numbers.
printed
Guess-
numbers.
guess that was my
Oh, yeah,
fault
I owe
because
you
mine
for
was the
shirts
driver's
and
side.
stuff.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we got ones that are gonna have the numbers printed on there. The numbers will be a little taller and have the class identifier.
Yeah.
Did you put Andy's class identifier as SA?
Andy,
We can put duct tape over top of it. It's
Andy
fine.
Yeah.
has 6 different stickers.
Oh,
2 for or 1, 2
Two
for
for?
2
twofer.
per car per.
Are you having a stroke?
Yes, it's
Okay.
hard to fucking
Well,
explain.
then quit talking. I'll keep talking.
Everybody has 2. Andy has 6 because there's the 3 different classes. So I made 1 different per class
OCD ass.
Sick.
because I didn't know what
anyway,
you'd be
So
putting.
I owe you
just-
for the numbers for the cars and for the t-shirts, I'm assuming. Did you order those?
I ordered those. Yes.
Sick.
Yeah, when are those
Okay.
supposed to be in?
Today. The Friday that we're supposed to.
Oh,
Like
shit.
the Friday before the event.
Fuck.
sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fair enough.
So yeah, they'll be here like the last minute possible.
Okay. Just
And it
curious.
says FedEx has to sign for delivery, and there might be nobody there. So we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see how that
I mean,
works.
I can-
So I guess we get to burn
depending on
down
the time,
a
I can
FedEx
delivering.
facility.
Say again, Michael.
Where are they delivering to?
To the parents' house.
Well, somebody ought to be.
Friday? I thought they were taking the camper up Friday.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There.
I guess I could make them wait until they get there.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. So
don't know.
we'll figure that out here soon. But
Yeah.
I did in fact order them. They were a lot of money, and
Sick.
once they show up, I'll take payment. Then I don't need it beforehand.
Okay.
Worst case Ontario, I will go to FedEx and pick them up.
Yeah, because at the very worst, they would just bring them back to Peru.
Yeah.
Or Morton. They'd fucking just absolutely screw me, but because that's where they ship out of is Morton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peru doesn't have a store anymore, so
Yeah, they would
yeah,
probably
it would go
ship
back
them
to Morton.
back.
Oh,
to,
probably. Yeah.
if they don't get delivered, then I'll just take off work and drive down to Morton and meet them there.
Beat
I-
the
my
delivery
work-
truck back.
I could too. So anyway, so we got the wrong hub for the back driver's side.
Yeah.
They sent the wrong one.
Yep.
They sent the right one finally. We got
Nice.
it. It was supposed to show up what the fuck? I'm having it was supposed to show up Saturday and just never did.
Yes, that's right.
It originally said Tuesday, and then it went to Monday, and then it said Saturday out for delivery. I'm like, fucking sweet. It's like delivery between like 10 and 12. I'm like, this is awesome. I can get this done and finished.
And
So
then
I did
it never
what,
came.
So I did what I do every time, and I just sit and wait. I'm like, refresh it every half an hour, just kind of check. I'm like, as soon as it's delivered, I'll run over and get it. Never showed up the entire day. I wasted like 3 hours of my time. Just like,
Fuck you, FedEx.
I'm like, I know they're not going to deliver it, but I have to keep checking because if they do, I can go finish it. And then they didn't. And then they finally ended up delivering it Monday at like 3:30,
Nice.
which I'm like, it's good enough. So then I went over there Tuesday to finish it
Tuesday,
up.
isn't it?
So all I have to do is take it out of the box, knock the old studs out, press the new ones in. Easy peasy, right?
Cool. Nope.
Wrong. It worked perfectly for all 3 other corners, but this one's a little bit different.
Of course it is.
So I go to
Thanks, Rock Auto.
I go to hit the studs out. They come out about normal. I'm
Yeah,
like, all right,
relatively
good.
okay.
Because you can just do a hammer and fucking tap them out, apparently. I was going to press them. And Michael's like, no, it's easy. Just fucking whack them. Whack! Works perfectly, actually.
bailiff wax peepee.
Basically. So I go to press the new ones in, and about 2 of them tap in pretty easily. And the third one goes there, and it's just like, you can wiggle it inside the splines. And I'm like,
No bueno.
Maybe if you would have pressed him out, it would have been fine.
no. It worked on all 3 other corners, just not this one. So I'm like, that's a little bit loose. And Michael was out there. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, that's kind of loose. I don't like that. You could, if you push on them hard, they'd pop right back out.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and eventually, like, you run it a couple times, and you're like, it could just pop in and out on its own.
God.
I'm like, oh no. I'm
Like they took too much material out when they
Like-
drilled them.
like the studs they pressed in from the factory were probably within spec. However, they're probably at the
high
highest
end.
end of the spec. Or the studs that I got were at the lower end of spec.
Yep.
Which mine are ARP studs. They're probably pretty tight spec, but
Still.
for whatever reason, I go to press it in. I'm like, that's not tight enough. I'm like, I don't like that anymore. So what do? You fucking
You
weld
fucking
the,
weld
the
it.
fucking
I was
studs
just
in.
about to say, just fucking weld them.
It's like they were just barely loose enough that I'm like, I don't really feel like it. So I threw the spacer on there to take up the space. Threw some lugnets on there and just took the TIG, fucking zapped them in nice and hot. Works fucking great.
Nice. Now, do you have like a pulse mode on the TIG where you could just like, it's at a set time for a set burst and everything? So like
There's
the tack
spot
welds
welding
themselves.
timers.
Yeah.
There's a spot welding timer you can set.
Okay.
So as soon as it arcs, it'll go like however many seconds
yeah,
or tenths of
milliseconds
seconds.
or whatever.
It'll go brr off.
Yeah.
Or brr.
Did you do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
They use the TIG, not the MIG. The TIG
Oh,
is
okay,
just a
gotcha.
tungsten. You just melt
Yeah,
it together.
Okay. I was like kind of wondering if you like tried to do it like semi-time,
balanced-ish.
so it was semi-balanced.
No, I use the TIG, so it's basically you just melt it and dab some
fuck it,
filler in
it's a
there.
race car.
It worked really good, actually. I
I'm
was
telling
shocked.
you, balancing is a myth.
He's gonna keep saying it, and I don't.
On
You
a
know-
race car, none of it matters.
I actually am
Yeah.
kind of concerned. So I am in the middle of overhauling a X15 Cummins.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm assembling.
So unbalance the crank and
Yeah,
watch
that's what I'm saying. Let's
happens.
start drilling speed holes in the crank.
I don't know about the crank, but anyway,
They're
I'm
not
putting
speed holes, it's
the
weight reduction.
pistons and rods together.
Okay.
Putting their
Yeah.
wrist pins in.
Yeah.
Are those the fractured rods?
These are fracture split rods.
You guys know fracture split rods.
Yeah.
They're like instead of being saw cut at the rod bearing, they're like
Actually,
they're
hit.
fracture
It-
cut.
it's just
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
which I've always wondered, like
Is that
oh,
actually better?
when they break these, it's like it's got to be the loudest noise ever.
It's got to be pretty intense, actually. Yeah.
Like it's got to be crazy.
Yeah. So here's like a fracture split rod. So normally you would expect to be a clean saw cut.
Yeah.
These aren't. They're actually broken. But
It's
that
like-
way the individual pieces of the brake fit together
Perfectly. They literally manufacture the bottom end, put it on like the side of a table, and whack it with a hammer, and then it fucking snaps, and then they just
essentially,
bolt it back
yeah.
together.
Super cool. You'd imagine that would be like some big
Loud.
event.
Yeah, I would have to.
Oh,
imagine.
yeah. That's. I don't like that.
What the fracture split?
I know. I understand the science behind it. I hate the thought of like the
doing it.
process of
The idea
how
it
it's done.
is like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't like any of that.
Yeah, you're
like I don't care how scientific you get when you break it; it's still broken.
Yeah, here's
When I
a
went to
way better
class,
picture.
The guy is like, oh yeah. He's like, it's just some old lady running a machine. She presses a button and goes, "Beep," and it's like,
It just
it's done.
It just
it's like
pops it.
it's instantly quiet. It doesn't do anything. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
I
so
still don't believe
disappointing.
you, and I don't like it.
But you can see
I
it
don't
here in
love
this
it.
picture. Like this seam is almost invisible.
Yeah.
It's
without
like when
any
they
tension
do,
on it. And as you
shit, what do
tension
they
it,
call it?
forces together.
EDM wire cutting.
Wire EDM or
Yeah.
like a perfect part fit.
And then they like they'll
I'll
drill a circle out and then they
well here.
hone another rod out and they push it in and it literally bounces because the air is trying to escape.
So wire EDM is actually a
so
really cool
fucking
little
cool.
process. I actually why won't it let me pull up the picture?
You can,
I
you should
fucking
convince
hate
your boss to buy one. We could totally find
it.
something to do with
Absolutely
it.
not.
Yes, it's so cool.
So wire EDM is a type of like CNC machining, but instead of using an end mill and boring material out, it's literally it takes a wire and electronically charges it, so it just like essentially melts.
Yeah, it just
through the
zaps the metal
material.
away.
But you can do extremely precise shapes with it. Apparently, like I don't know what size the wire is. Probably very small.
They have like multi
But, like,
different.
this is like they'll
gauges.
make two parts that fit together and the seam disappears.
Yeah.
like,
So is that kind of
perfectly.
like make wire like you can go through it once and you have to replace the spool?
No, I
or
think
is
they-
it like
I
you can
yeah, I
go
think it.
through
I think it's a
like
s-
twice
you
or
can like
something
rewind
like
it like a VCR?
maybe.
I
Yeah, it's
think.
a VHS tape, but it's a very small wire usually.
Oh, yeah.
So here's
Ah,
wow.
yes. Okay.
Here it
Looking
is.
at this, I've seen this before.
yeah. So it'll make a perfect
Yep.
because there's no curve. So when you do a plasma, like the top is wider than the bottom because the hole naturally tapers in because the plasma arc is kind of just following the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Or it'll blow out it'll either go wide at the bottom or narrow, kind of
Yeah.
depending on what you're doing.
Either or.
This is a perfectly straight line. So you can make perfect straight parts with it.
Yeah.
With perfect 90s because there's no burnout.
And the only tolerance is the width.
It's
the
the width
wire.
of the wire, and you just account for that when you design the part.
It's like foam
Foam?
cutting with a hot knife, except it's a wire
Yes.
and metal.
That's actually very
Yeah.
a hot knife through foam or whatever,
Yeah.
where it just immediately scours it.
It's fucking cool.
But you can do super thick plates with it because it's just one straight clean line. So it actually works. It's awesome. But here's actually you could see a little bit of a part kind of getting manufactured here, where it's like a perfect machine finish on the inside, but it's not machine kind of. You know, it's interesting.
Neat stuff.
There's so many cool machining types out there. Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about?
Rods and pistons.
Connecting rods. Yes.
Oh,
Go back
yeah.
to your
Anyway,
thing. Yeah.
fractured
Glad
pistons.
somebody pays attention because
I
it's not
assemble
me.
them. You put the rod in, you put the snap ring in. Once I get the wrist pin through, I set the piston head on the table, rods hanging off.
Sure.
5 out of the 6 sat there just fine, freestanding.
Yeah.
The 6th one, well, I don't know if it was the 6th one, but one of
Whatever.
the 6,
Yeah.
you let go of it and it instantly falls over.
It just fell off.
It's like,
One of
I-
these things is
I was
not
like,
like
okay.
the other.
yeah.
I was like, I'll flip it around. I was like, yeah. you know,
Maybe
it's
it's
just
it's offset a little degree or whatever.
falls
and it's
over
supposed
just
to,
as fast. I was like, It's like, so this must be much heavier than the rest of these.
Yeah.
To just
which is very
And it's
strange.
Be one.
I
to just
don't
pull
know.
it right off the table.
Blame it on the
That-
parts guy.
Either the rod's heavier or the piston's lighter. And it's like that can't be ideal for
No.
you know.
That
Something that's
yeah.
reciprocating.
to
with
unbalance
it.
the entire
Yeah.
Well, balancing's a myth.
Yeah,
so-
balancing's a myth. Just fucking run
it
it.
must
with
be.
tires. Yeah, with internal parts of an engine.
It must be a myth because
That was
nothing's happened yet.
That's
Oh my god, did you finish assembling it?
well, yeah.
well, no, but
Oh.
Well, yeah.
So then balancing isn't a myth.
I've actually got to wait for Cummins to come and cut the block because apparently everybody's blocks are just garbage at this point.
Like they're gonna hone it themselves, or
so-
they have to like trim a piece.
And not a hone.
yeah.
So
Like a resurface?
heavy duty engines have sleeves that you pretty much press into the block.
Yeah.
And they've got what's called a counter bore.
yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
All of the counter bores are eroding on all of these pretty much 17 and newer engines.
So it's
Oh.
like they're redoing the
so
valve
it's where the
surface.
sleeve sits, is what you're saying.
Which picture do you want here? Do you
Just
see any?
search MX13 counter bore.
I could do that. Max 13.
the counterbore, like that's where the sleeve sits, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
That didn't work.
those are all the tools to cut the counter bores.
Counter boring.
Liner sleeve.
Search block counter bore or something.
Okay, MX-13.
Oh, there's a picture of it
Yeah, I'll
set
send a
up
picture
on
of
the
it doing
block.
This guy right here?
Oh, yeah, I've seen people do that.
Oh, there's a
before.
tiny little shitty picture, but anyway.
Is a poopy picture. Oh, it's not
It's
that
not-
bad.
it's-
Yeah, so it goes
Yeah.
down in the block and actually cuts the lower counter bore.
Okay.
Because what happens is coolant's getting below there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's eroding pretty much half of the side, and they're getting crooked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's starting to wear out one
and then
side
it's
of it.
letting combustion gas into the coolant, and
It's
Yeah,
fucked.
as soon as, sure.
Like
okay.
my
all sorts of bad
Subaru.
things. Yes,
Pretty much, yeah. Interesting.
that is less than ideal.
So Cummins has to come and do this process. They have to come
Yeah.
and counterbore it,
I'm
or
guessing,
use the counterbore
like,
tool and
they
clean
have
it
their
up.
own techs that do that.
Like I can do it, but
Yeah, you could do it.
we don't have the tools, and nor do they want to buy the tools
Yeah.
or pay for the class to send me.
Yeah, I'll say
That's
I'm,
fair.
I'm-
Yeah, that
that,
adds
that's
up.
what I was assuming is like
fuck
Kenworth
it.
has to say, "Hey,
We did
we expect it to
Yeah.
a certain degree, and it's not there."
It has to be a
fuck it.
very specific
One less
thing.
thing for you to fucking worry about.
Like I've
Yeah, but I have to
probably
sit
got
around
a
and wait.
picture here somewhere of a failed counter bore.
Ooh, okay. Seeing failed
Well, yeah,
parts is
'cause-
honestly always kind of cool.
Well, it's different than like a failed internal part because
I mean,
it's the
there's
sleeve. If the
camshafts.
sleeve gets like the sleeve starting to wear over the piston, that's
And
like,
well, pretty much
it's
any.
not normal.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's the failures we're seeing is
Mm-hmm.
more counter bore failures than
Mhm.
anything else right now.
Counterbores and injector failures.
Yeah.
That's
Injector failures.
that's probably 90% of your work, and like on a normal day, anyways.
Hmm.
Like, well, they designed this like shit, and now it doesn't work anymore. Like, oh, they changed the injector; it's 1% more efficient, and it fails 50% more often.
so we
we
got a
increased
Subaru
the
guy?
tolerances by 50%. They made them way tighter.
they
and,
fucking ruined them.
oh, here's the one with that broke the main bearing caps.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Just highlight a couple pictures. You can quick share it to the laptop, and we can pull them up.
So we got to beat the fuck out of the guy from Subaru. We got to beat
Just
the
go
fuck out
through
of the
those.
hub guy
Which ones do you
from
like, these five?
Honda. And then we got to beat some Kentworth dude.
Kentworth? Excuse me?
Kentworth?
no
Excuse me?
Kentworth?
Oh,
Kenworth.
Kenworth, sorry.
You're probably
My
one of
bad.
those guys that says Cummings.
Cummings.
Well, he'd rather be Cummings than Stroking or whatever the fuck those dudes say. Hold on, give it just a second to let it process it through. It takes forever
This
if
is
you're
why
not.
we need to get a whiteboard with a shit list on it.
So this was actually recently a recall. What's coming up now?
Okay, let me get these up. I think they all sent through. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to start on one particular one or just
No, any of them.
fuck
That's
are we
fine.
looking
Fuck are we
at?
looking at?
So this is also the new PACCAR engine.
Oh, this with like the loose parts laying in it.
Yeah.
And like the broken stuff. Is it sideways?
Oh, this is on a table.
Nope, that
Hold
is
on.
the oil pan.
Ah, that makes
Hold
more
on.
So
sense.
I don't know if you can zoom
Oh,
in
God.
at all there.
Here we go. This
That makes more
this
sense.
That
helps
is a
lot.
main cap
Ah.
bolt.
Ah,
You can also see
Huh.
the head laying up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's supposed to be there, Michael, and I'm no diesel tech.
Yeah, it shouldn't be just laying in the
so
pan.
pretty much a week or two after I did this, they released a recall for these bolts breaking.
Do you mean this one that you found broken
You
in the
don't
pan?
say.
There was some sort of error in the hardening of the bolts, or
Yeah,
something.
I'd say there's a failed
If I-
hardening
if I
process.
had to guess-
They're having a major issue right now with the bolts breaking off, main caps falling out.
I bet hell kind of breaks loose when that happens.
Yeah, really makes a bad sound when
Does
this
it
happens.
does it just take the connecting or the cap and just break it through the side of the block, or does it?
I haven't seen one yet. But we're
probably.
having- it's spinning the main bearings around, and they're double stacking on top of the crank.
yeah, that's
that's not good.
And it's pushing either the front or the front main
Out.
seal out, or
It's
the rear main seal
trying
out.
to it's trying to force the crank out of the block sideways.
oh, that does not
That's
sound
a
good.
that's a
Yeah.
real problem.
That has been
Go to
less
the
than
next-
ideal.
Oh boy, look at that.
Yeah. So that's the
Oh.
block stiffener plate. That should be like a quarter of the
Yeah,
size.
you could see the whole edge
what
here,
it should be.
and it blew the whole side of it out.
Yeah, it woken.
Good lord, what else we got? Oh, there's
Yeah.
more
So there's
cars.
just
God.
bolts stuck through the cap.
sheared off because you can see broken
Holy
chunks of them here and
shit.
here. Are these all pictures for warranty stuff? You
Yeah.
had to take anyway. Yeah.
There's a random wrench laying there.
Yeah. Here's a wrench for scale. What
Christ.
size is this? 10? 13.
13.
That's a 13 mil wrench.
millimeter wrench.
Jesus.
So this isn't a small tool. Like that's
a
essentially a
big
half
boy.
inch wrench, and it dwarfs this thing. That's the thing is these parts aren't little that are breaking loose.
Yeah,
they're
they're
gigantic.
the size of your hand.
Yeah.
Probably bigger.
Ooh. Yeah, there's a...
Yeah, so there's the double stacked main bearing. If you look up at
Oh.
that top corner, you can see both main bearings on top of
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
Every bit of this is bad.
Yeah. They're not supposed to do that.
Wow. Yeah, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Good
Well, I bet
Lord.
somebody got fired over that.
And is just another picture of it.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You could definitely see here
yeah.
both.
They're both layered.
So those are all.
Pretty much all these. Yeah. Okay. Let me pop all these.
All right.
Those
I gotta
first
get
two
up for a
are
minute.
Failed counter bore.
Want to give me a beer?
Absolutely fucking not. Yeah. What do you want?
He'd have a beer.
Bush.
He likes,
I'll take a beer.
you take a beer? I'd take a beer.
I'd have a beer.
I think we'd all have a beer,
Blue
honestly.
Moon's in the normal fridge.
Bush.
We pop these open now. They sent pretty quick. Okay, let's start.
Just go with
You want to start here and we can work backwards?
Ah, yes. I see
So yeah,
rust.
that's pretty much
That's from the coolant.
anywhere where you see it's the darker color, it's all eroded away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's making the liner sit crooked in the block.
Ooh. Okay. Yep, that's junk.
So they've gone from what's called a bottom fit liner to a top fit liner.
Okay.
I'm done with top.
Shut the fuck. Jesus Christ.
And this is supposed to eliminate this problem. They've also done away with the fire rings on the head gasket. So it's basically, it's just a cylinder to head seal
Just
mount.
flat mount
I mean,
now.
it's metal on metal compression to seal it.
See, I thought fire rings were the good thing to do. Because that's like...
That's
Well, not when you fuck up the rest of it.
Well,
yeah.
but
When
like,
the rest of it's garbage, apparently not.
like a fire ring is usually an upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
Like if people are doing like 6 liters, they'll put a ring in the
Mm-hmm.
head gasket, or they'll put a fire ring on it instead of taking it away. I guess it's
Yeah.
cheaper without it.
And this is all CGI block and head, which is supposed to be like next
the
level,
most precise of the
high
precise.
quality.
To be fair,
It's-
it actually looks
it's
pretty nice
compressed
through all the
graphite
holes.
Oh, yeah.
iron.
Which is the like hardest, toughest material that you're
Complete
gonna get.
garbage. It's soft like butter. We are only
is-
allowed to use a brass scraper and a brass wire brush to clean
What?
these.
Wow.
And
Why-
like
it should be extremely tough.
all of
not
these pictures where you see that corrosion,
all the everywhere.
we can't do anything with that.
Because you don't have enough tools
So-
to scrape it off either.
Anytime it's got a like corrosion like that, we have to replace the head or the block.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Like, the block might be a little bit better, but not when you have to throw it away all the time.
And this last Cummins class I went to, I was talking to the instructor, and he's like, "Yeah, we're going to all CGI blocks." And I was like,
You're,
"No."
you're like, why?
I was like, "Please
Why-
don't."
Why would
I
you
was
do
like,
that?
They're absolute garbage. I go, "You're gonna hate your life soon."
They're fucking awful.
And he's like, "I thought CGI was supposed to be good." I go, "It's not."
well,
I go,
it's supposed to be good.
I was the only guy there from a Packard shop, and I was like, "It's not good."
Yeah.
I go, "It's not what it's lived up to."
I understand
at
you,
all.
I understand you're going to, but you probably shouldn't because they're junk. Like compressed graphite is a very good technology that actually works really good. However, it's the manufacturing that's screwing them up. Like in theory, it's awesome.
I have noticed like the newer blocks we're getting seem to be a lot harder.
They kind of fixed a little bit of these. Like these are early blocks almost.
Like you used to be able to take like a pocket screwdriver and you can make a big divot in it.
Oh my
now
God.
if you take that same equivalent and it doesn't make the same guy.
it won't even it'll barely scratch it.
We're definitely getting better, but
So they just had
It's not
still
up to
needs
the
some
same
more-
standard.
they just started beta testing with you guys and just sending you shit
Yeah.
and hoping.
Straight to R&D, bitches.
Here's a bolt size. Do you need this?
I do not.
Okay. What about this? This looks nice and happy and
That
healthy.
is a not ideal
No,
main bearing.
that
What do you
that
mean?
that looks fucked.
What's wrong with this? It looks
all the
it's,
scarring?
That's not horrible, but it's not
It's-
ideal.
It's shiny. That means it's moving good, right?
No.
Yeah, that's fucking gouged. I think that was the last picture you sent me.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. So there's some junk that comes in, huh?
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
ideal.
Yeah. Other than my bearings that press, when you press them in, they press the other half out. Fucking retarded.
Yeah, I need to beat the piss out of that guy.
That's like, at least they were still good when I took them out.
Yeah,
but
me.
and then okay, we'll go back to the Honda real
Yeah,
quick.
Honda.
Yeah, what
Honda
else
Rari.
did you finish up?
So I finished up the camber on it.
Wow.
The camber and wheel spacers, the tire lines up with the edge of the car, which is kind of
The
nice.
spacer, the studs stick out more.
The studs are like an inch longer than the stock ones.
Fuck 'em.
Put
Which
another
when
5 mil on there.
I can't legally for the class rules.
Dan, if you're still listening, you didn't hear this.
I'm not gonna put any more. It's fine. But so I got that done. There's both sides. They're basically just at the edge of the body line, which is nice. They're set to full camber. I still need to decide what I'm doing with toe for the front. So my theory that I've been going with right now is I want to switch from toe in, which is your standard, where the front of the tire points into itself.
Yeah.
Switch it to toe out, which points the fronts of the tires away from each other a little bit. Therefore, when it's leaned into a corner, the outside tire is going to be doing all the work anyway.
Yeah.
Therefore, the inside tire that's pulling weight off the ground will be turned into the corner even sharper.
Yeah.
And what little contact it's doing will help drag it around the
It'll
corner.
want to carry into a corner better.
Yeah, like mid-corner
makes
should
sense.
help it pull out of it a little bit nicer. It might make the car really darty and unstable, though. So
But that's kind of what you want.
it is kind of what I want, especially on dirt, where it's like
Yeah.
the ground's going to be changing consistently and
Yes.
stuff. It's like,
You want as much grip as possible all the time.
The little bit of camber that I got helps a lot. The spacers will help kind of widen it up. And I think some toe out is going to help it kind of dive into a corner harder. And once it's in there, it'll keep it pulling around it.
Gotcha.
The problem is you don't do that on most people because they like drive theirs on the road still. So it's like it'll chew up tires on pavement. But on dirt,
Yeah, you're fine.
pretty much okay. So
I mean, even after driving the full season, you're gonna put 100 miles on this car every year.
I don't know how long that course is, but it's not very long.
Yeah. Well, I figured 5 or 6 laps an event, 7 events throughout
You get
the year.
8 laps an event is the standard ish.
Yeah.
So 8 laps even if it was a mile apiece.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
8 miles times 7 events only 56 miles.
You could put this
wonder-
fucking tire sideways and it would last
It would-
the entire fucking.
They'll
event.
dry rot from age
serious.
before
Yeah.
they wear
Yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah.
Which I kind of wondered that this week of how do they design the courses? Is it a specific length every time?
So they take a box of spaghetti and cook it and throw it at the wall. And that's
wherever most
what the
of
Now,
course
them-
I
is.
would believe that.
It's just fucking noodles back
I
and
mean,
forth.
I think they use macaroni though, so they get good
Ooh,
curves.
get nice
good
smooth
curves.
curves.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I guess if you cooked it like halfway, it might
Yeah.
kind of, you kind of like bend it instead of full loose
But
noodle. But
I also
there's
got,
I don't think there's a specific length or anything.
I also got
no.
wheel spacers
Kind of.
of 5 mil
5 mil.
5 mil, like,
Yeah.
because
they were cheap as fuck.
in order to get 10 mil, you had to have enough stud for 10
Yeah,
mil.
so I went with 5 just to play it safe because I don't want
And-
to fucking redo studs.
At 5, you're not really gaining anything anyway.
Yeah,
So
So who all is attending? Everybody's making it to race day.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I think we're gonna both be at both days. We're all
Well,
gonna be at both
yeah,
days.
Everybody's
are-
making it to both days.
Yeah, are you going to both days?
I'm going to
I'm
both
going
days.
to both days.
I'll be at both days. I believe Andy is also playing on both days at the very least because one needs to see how his car handles on dirt, see if it
Well,
rubs,
yeah.
and when it rubs, he can spend the whole day fixing it rubbing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got to see what my car does too. I think I'll be all right.
I think your car will be fine.
Yeah, I think
I
it'll
mean,
be
I
fine.
Now, if you
went-
put your Falcons on there, it might rub a little bit, but
well,
because he can put the same tires.
we'll see what the stocks do.
Falcon Wild Peak ATs, it'd be pretty cool. on
Andrew,
that
are you
thing.
planning on coming to both days? For
Hey, you
race
fucking
week?
moron! If you want a trophy so bad, just go to the prepared class. Duh.
They only give so many trophies per people. that
yeah,
enter.
but last event there was one person in it.
yeah. So if he got second place, he still wouldn't get a trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only give it if there's enough people. They have to be
So-
winners and losers.
Oh, okay.
So if there's
So, for example,
If
his class
there's-
had 4 people last time.
Yeah.
So they gave out 2 trophies.
Yes.
He was
Ah.
third place, so he would have gotten one if they did all 3.
if
okay.
they had
did.
6
But
people.
yeah, to get a 4th place trophy, there needs 10 people in the class.
There's only 3 trophies.
Yeah, there's only
no
3
matter
trophies.
what. So my class had 8, and they gave away 3. They just first, second, third for a podium.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there has to be enough people to have.
Okay. Yeah.
give
But
the
sorry, to get to
trophies away.
3rd place,
At-
there needs 10 people.
There needs to be an
That's
equal-
why he didn't get a trophy.
There needs to be an equal amount of winners and losers.
Yes.
at
If there
the
was
least.
6 people in the stock all-wheel drive
Oh,
class,
6.
and
I thought
I
it was
got
10. I thought it was 10.
third,
My bad. Okay.
I
Yeah.
would have gotten a trophy.
Yeah, there should
Gotcha.
be
Okay.
1,
But
2,
I
3,
didn't.
and then 4, 5, 6 at least. So if there's 4, you split it in half.
Yeah.
If there's 2 people
Okay.
that enter, only 1 gets a trophy. If
Okay,
there's 4,
here-
2 get
here's
it.
No,
the
I'm
tip.
not going both days.
You're not. Okay. Are you going?
No, I'm gonna send the fuck out of it and beat all of you, and I don't
Oh,
care.
Shit.
If I blow up on the fucking testing tune,
He's
then
gonna
that's
have like
fucking
a
dumb.
102-second first lap.
Fuck.
Stalls
I
and
really
misses
think
gears.
you underestimate my
'cause-
give a fuck level.
Because
about
I
that car,
planned
bro.
That's what
on-
I thought too, and I had to drive way harder than I thought I did.
Because I planned.
I've been mobbing the curves for a month straight,
Not even close.
brother.
It's
It's
not
not
close.
even close.
I
It's not
really
close.
think you underestimate my.
I
give a fuck.
understand how little fuck you give. You have to give. It's not giving that. It's
pushing your comfort level a little bit.
like
I've raced things before. I don't know. I just feel like it's a different mindset.
I understand. Like I showed up thinking I had an advantage because I don't care about my car at all, and even then I'm like, I had to consistently push further and further and harder and harder.
Yeah.
Like then I thought I had
It's a different
to.
feeling.
Yeah, when you pull out, and you're like, I got whooped by 10 seconds. You're like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you'll probably do pretty good. But
Well, shit, I
with
signed
your car
up
being
for
low
both fucking days.
I'm going. Well, everyone else will be there for 2 days.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. No, day one's practice. It's just time behind the wheel.
Well, when you break yours Friday during testing, I'll tow it back fucking Saturday night.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah. Anyway, we've been here for an hour and 50. I think we're probably pretty well done for today.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk about your Razor scooter thing.
Oh yeah,
real quick.
I just opened a beer, so I got time.
Okay. Well, fucking
I had
pitter patter. Let's get at her.
I
What
had
the?
a couple more pictures left too.
So when I was about
Yeah, sure.
11 years old, I broke my arm
On how?
on a mini chopper, a
Okay.
Razor mini chopper, electric, motorcycle, whatever.
Okay.
I broke it in the hardest place to break a bone, specifically your arm, where it
Okay.
starts to merge into both because your forearm has
Yes,
where it
two
splits
bones.
apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hardest part to break that is at the base of the two bones.
Okay.
I managed to do a clean break on both of them, so it was the most painful.
Yeah, so you
That's
just
cool.
hit
That's
it
an
perfect.
ideal.
That's impressive. Okay.
Yeah. So while working in Ottawa the last couple days, I noticed this crackhead. It is kind of, you have to stare at the crackhead in the neighborhood. He scraps and
They
he
just
run around like an
stick out.
idiot all day long. No actual job, so he's just at home during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at him, I'm like, whatever. He's fucking weird. Fucking about
Says you.
3 days ago, I look over and I'm like, oh, he has the exact same electric motorcycle that I had as a kid, same paint job and everything. They're fairly rare. The red color I think is the most rare. I see a lot of the black with orange flames and blue with silver flames.
Okay.
But this red with silver flames is like the most rare.
That's the one you see the least.
I'm like, damn, I haven't seen one of these in like fucking 15 years, dude.
Since you broke your arm on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because like after I broke my arm, I didn't ride it. It was wintertime after that. And then by that next spring, the batteries were dead. Well,
Yeah.
my dad is like very OCD and very just like, oh, it doesn't work, throw it the fuck away.
Right.
Like I had a first gen Traxxas E-Max as well.
Okay.
That I didn't know how to resolder the wire onto the motor. I could have just put a new
Fixed
motor
it.
on it or soldered it if I knew, but I was 11.
Yeah.
I didn't. So he's like, all right, cool, throw it away. Like it was a $500 car when he bought it brand new. I'm like,
was.
whatever, dude. Yeah, it was. But
Now
like,
it's in a landfill.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
I'm assuming what happened is like he just tossed this at some point when we didn't
Probably.
use it for a couple months or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he gets in those fits every now and again. But I'm like, damn. All right, I got to talk to the crackhead. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? And like we were literally in front of his house. We had an open trench in front of his house. I'm like, hey, give me about an hour, and I'm the one who's backfilling the hole. So I'm like, hey, like you'll be able to come out of the driveway in about an hour or so.
Sure.
He's like, all right, good. I'm like, hey, I also noticed.
While we're
So
here.
that junk pile back there.
Yeah.
I
No, he had it on
something
his
up.
trailer. He was going to scrap it. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing with that little electric motorcycle you got on your trailer? He's like, oh, usually I fix them up and give them to kids or like, just kind of depends if, whatever. He's like, why? I'm like, well, I had the same one when I was a kid. I'll give you a couple bucks for it. He's like, all right, let me think about it. I'm like,
Bro,
all
I'll
right,
give you
sure.
a crisp
That's
$20
not what I
bill.
wanted. I wanted
Literally,
to say,
I'm like, dude, I guarantee it takes $20 for this thing. And
comes back $300.
oh yeah, no. In the meantime, I start looking up on Marketplace. I'm like, all right, let's look.
He probably
Yeah.
did the
Let's-
exact
let's
same
find
He
thing.
probably
Well, he
did.
didn't because he eventually was like, give me what you think is fair. And I'm like, I
20,
wanted to
40
give you
bucks?
20. I know it's worth.
$3.
I know it's worth 100. So I'll give you 40.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
I'm like, I'll give you $40. He's like, oh yeah, all right.
He's like,
I'm
oh, that's amazing.
sick.
fuck.
So, yeah,
Should have
gave-
offered 20.
Gave him $40 for it, but when he told me, he's like, let me think about it. Like, let me think on about a price. That was Wednesday, like morning. So, or no, that'd been
He
Tuesday
goes
morning.
and scraps it.
No, Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, he's like, all right, let me think about the price. I'm like, all right, cool. The rest of the day Tuesday, I joined the Modified Razors
Oh,
for Adults on
fuck.
Facebook. Proceeded to learn a fuck ton of information. That
Probably almost too much information.
oh, it's a lot. It is an unbelievable amount. It's also since the choppers are rare, it's all for the full size, like more full size dirt bikes.
yeah,
and
like the 50cc competitor.
it's the
electric
MX
one.
650 Razor.
Yeah.
And the RSF, which is like a naked bike, street bike looking thing.
Okay.
And they all are modifying those. I'm like,
Sure.
well, I just want like that setup in this bike.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do like maybe 30, maybe
Yeah, just
40,
cruise around
depending on
town.
like, basically it's like you pick a controller, you pick
Yeah.
a battery,
Yep, and a
then-
motor.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is the
and
one
a
that this is
motor.
the one everyone's fucking with. Is the 650s?
Yes, that is the most popular by far.
Yeah.
If I do a bigger so the chopper has 0 suspension. It's very small. Like
Yeah.
I'm 5'7" and it's fucking tiny. It's built for
Children.
up to 220 pounds though. So like weight wise,
Well, I guess when there's no-
Weight-wise, I'm good.
I
Wait
got
a minute,
40
I can
pounds.
still
Dude,
ride
I'm
that.
fucking set.
I guess if there's no suspension, it doesn't really have like
Yeah, you
a
just-
spring
you
limit.
put like 2 cases of beer on the back.
This is the one I would modify if I was if I wanted one that's more comfortable with suspension.
and it actually has like a good sized spring.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
shock in the rear. There's
Wow.
forks
Dude,
in the
that
front.
thing's pretty
Does
dope.
that say
Yeah.
ages 16 and
Yes.
Yes.
The chopper does too.
It does
They are
say
almost
16
all
plus.
16 plus.
Probably just because for how
17
fat.
miles an
Also,
hour.
If
the
I got
MX,
that,
the
that's-
MX 650 and this have the same 36 volt system,
Yeah.
whereas my chopper and almost all other razors have 24 volts.
Okay,
So-
sure.
God, if
so
I got
it's, yeah,
this at 16, I'd think I was a fucking pussy.
Oh yeah, exactly. You buy them for 10-year-olds.
up to 17 miles an hour though. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking-
My chopper says
Jesus Christ, I've seen
15 mile an hour.
Fucking 5-year-olds in Power Wheels go quicker than that.
Have you seen like 8-year-olds on like 50s fucking jumping shit?
Oh, God, yeah.
The
They're
110's made
ridiculous.
for like 8-year-olds.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
And
maybe
it does
without the big bore kit, but
75
fuck
miles
it.
an hour.
Yeah. Well, it didn't when it was stock, but yeah.
But yeah, if I do build a full, quote unquote, full size
full-
razor, it'll be probably the
if this first one
RSF.
goes that well, you're like, well,
Yeah, if I can get this thing to do like 25 and like cruise around every now and again, I'll be happy with
How
it.
you have to
the
put your
brakes.
foot pegs up on
like-
the front wheel.
I sat on. It's not terribly uncomfortable. I'll be honest. I might do different bars, like handlebars.
You're
but that's
probably
about
gonna
it.
have to, just 'cause
the
it's so
seat
low.
has a lot of cushion.
It's
Like,
probably
it's not
just
bad.
it's probably just foam.
I might do a backrest. I might bolt it to the frame essentially,
Yeah, just
and do
run
like
it
a little
up.
backrest just because.
so you can lean back and wheel.
So there's a bigger version of this too called the Rebellion, which
Okay.
is I think it's like 18 plus, and it went like instead of 15, it goes like 18.
Ooh.
Rebellion.
Yeah.
It has the backrest on it already.
Oh, it's way cooler.
It is a little bit more full size. Has a different plastic cover covering the
got a
battery.
V-twin
and
It's got a
on it.
V twin.
yeah,
on it.
it's fucking. It is honestly a lot better to
So
build off of.
how-
But these are like they
Probably
built
legit money.
a couple hundred of these.
Yeah,
What
they-
if you just
shit.
put like a Harbor Freight Predator engine?
You know,
on that?
okay, so I was
But
going
they're
to
not
ask you.
electric though.
Boogie, boogie, woogie.
Yeah, but
He wants
still.
electric.
Yeah, it's all fucking here or there. Like, so I
You're
tested.
just bored.
I tested the motor. Yeah, for $40. At the
Yeah.
very least, I might just fucking put it up on the wall. That's the difference there.
Yeah.
that's the
Holy
mini
shit.
chopper versus the Rebellion.
Yeah, there is a noticeable
There's a
difference.
Yes, like
Big
I can
difference.
actually fit on a Rebellion, but they are like I can't even find one online for sale.
Yeah, they must not
eBay,
have-
fucking
So
anything.
How much is this new age conversion going to cost you?
It depends how fast you want to go.
Okay.
I can run.
What-
I can run the
what's-
stock motor. I can overvolt it,
Okay.
and I can go about 20-22.
Okay, so first full-fledged new controller, new motor, new batteries.
No, stock motor.
No. I'm talking.
Oh yeah,
What's your fast cost? Like
What is your slowest
on the face.
like-
So yeah, for 20 mile an hour, it'll
stage
probably be
one?
about $150-$200.
Okay,
that's
not bad.
that's not bad.
For 25 to 30, probably about $450.
Okay, that's getting more.
For anything over 35 mile an hour, you're looking at $1,500 plus.
Oh my god.
The fastest
Well, it's a big
recorded
battery.
speed, it's big. It's
Yeah,
battery
and motor at that point, yeah.
Really, I would have figured battery and controller.
You need a
Controllers are pretty universal.
Oh, okay.
It just
It's
depends
it's
whatever
more or less an
voltage.
on-off switch.
I've seen. The most I've seen on the Facebook page was 96 volts,
Whole.
and the fastest recorded speed I've seen was one was 86.
Holy
that
fuck,
was yesterday.
no.
The
no.
next one I saw was 93 miles
is-
an hour.
That's scary as
hauling
piss.
I think
ass.
it was like 40, 45, 50
I think exactly.
would be like,
Those were full suspension, like
Yeah.
steering stable. Like people figure
They
out how to put
built a
steering
chopper out
stabilizers
of
on
it,
them.
yeah.
No, these were like the RSFs and stuff.
Okay,
no
sure.
one has built a chopper. So like
So
that's
you'll
the
be
thing
the
too is
first.
like I might just use the stock motor and a bigger battery and controller and do
Just
36
see
volts.
what you
Yeah.
get first.
Do 36 volts on the stock motor until it kills itself, and then put a better motor
and then
on
just
it.
slowly.
Yeah.
And then just leave it because
Yeah.
at most I think this thing will be perfect at 30 mile an hour.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that's
just going up to cases,
plenty.
get a case of beer and back.
Literally, like
Yeah.
just putting around. Like I'll bring this to the fucking rallycross event and just putt around,
goof around on it.
Yeah, essentially. This will be a pit bike. until I eventually possibly
break-
build
till you break it.
the full size RSF or a MX650.
Yeah, when you crack the frame in half, you're like, I could probably jump this thing.
Yeah, maybe
Break the
not.
forks off the front. You're like, all right, that's
yeah.
that's on me.
Take it to the indoor track.
Oh God, I could.
Run
Like, night
left.
There are a lot of people in there who build these for their kids
Mm-hmm.
who are like, my kid races dirt bikes, or like my one kid has a gas dirt bike and I already had this, so I figured I'll spend $500 on this to make it competitive with
Instead of
the
buying
gas
another
bike or
gas
whatever.
bike.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah, it makes
Fair
sense.
enough.
But
Interesting.
yeah, I thought they were kind of neat, and I'm like, I dove into this because I've been bored at work, so I'm like, oh, there's so much information.
And now
to
there's
go.
no work.
And now you've got
Yeah,
one.
now I have no work and the bike. I'm like, oh fuck.
Now it's time.
Yeah, yeah.
Could
Realistically,
you just make it run off Milwaukee batteries?
yes, but there is a in the batteries themselves there is a like
Voltage regulator.
voltage
Yes.
regulator essentially.
Basically, if it gets too low, it'll turn off. It'll only let it draw
but
so much.
it also
yeah.
will interfere with how much load it takes for
Yes.
you to start off with.
Yeah, that's
So,
Well, that's why
the-
all the batteries have different amp ratings on
Yep.
them.
Yeah. Well, even that, it's
Essentially.
still there's still a lot of internals in the batteries that
Yes.
make them not great.
Right.
I've seen a lot of people have done the 40 volt Milwaukee's, like
Okay.
the big batteries. That
Yeah, the
you're-
fuel batteries.
Yeah. Well, no, like the Ryobi's, not Milwaukee's.
Oh,
The long one, like the one in your guys' leaf
The leaf
blower I
blower,
gave you.
yeah.
That's a 40 volt. It's
Yes.
about fucking, I don't know, 8-10 inches long.
yeah, something like that.
Rather than the
Yeah.
regular tool
it's like
clip-ins.
8x4 instead of like a 6x3 or
Three,
whatever.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty big.
It's a
Yeah.
good sized battery, but that way it has more cells it can
Yeah.
draw down
Yeah.
instead of a bunch of little ones.
fuck it,
See,
Build
I've
your
seen a
own
lot of people
cells.
do the 40 volts. I've seen a lot of people do Milwaukee's, obviously, because it's the most
It's the most
popular.
most common.
Almost no one has done the 18 volt Ryobi, which I could do. All they say is like link them in parallel.
Yeah.
Fucking most you should do on a stock motor is 36 volt and a
Right.
better controller, and you'll be okay.
So get a DeWalt 60 volt. And
Well,
just
I
smoke
thought
that
about
motor.
ideally, I'm like I am willing to risk. I have a total of 10 Ryobi 18 volt batteries.
Good
I'm
lord.
like,
You should start killing those. Yeah.
I could just dedicate 4 of these to
To
the
this
fucking
thing.
to the bike, and it'd be 64 volts.
Oh my god, that'd
Like,
be a lot of volts.
It like I would have to do a custom controller,
And
and
a
I also have
motor.
to do a tuned controller and a big motor.
Yeah, 'cause
so
you-
I'd be in it like $600
At that much power, you probably need like a soft start, like ramp.
Yeah, I'd be in
up.
it $600 for just that, not including the battery. Like the batteries I already have.
That you already have,
But
but-
like if you did that same setup and bought the battery, you'd be into it another $250 for the battery. Like
Yeah.
you're into this thing almost $1,000.
You could probably just get like an electric golf cart controller.
Yeah.
Probably.
And-
Well, yeah.
Like,
a lot
that
of
would
people
be
have
fairly
done a lot
cheap.
of things like that.
You'd
but
have
it's
to
also,
change the
it's
input
also
voltage
packaging too.
controller.
Yeah, it's also
Yeah.
packaging too. Like there's a lot of things that people are like, you have to do this. Like there's
There's no way around
There's
this
3
thing.
known motors that are like, do this.
Yeah.
There's like a handful of controllers, and the batteries are like, you should get this because these are the best.
Yeah. When someone already has it figured out, it's hard to
Yeah.
just not.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue
Ignore
with
what already
almost
works.
not like 90-mile-an-hour performance.
Yeah. The guys that do it all the time are like,
Yeah.
this works great.
Yeah, most people, if you want to spend $500, you'll get 30 to 40 mile an hour. If
not
you
bad.
want to get
That's
50
probably all
mile
you
an
need,
hour,
too.
you're at about $1,500. If you want to do 60, 70, 80, 90, it's just another 1,000 on top of
At
it.
that point, you just buy an electric bike and don't.
Yeah, almost
get an
everybody
e-bike.
who's like, I went 90, I'm into it about $4,000. I'm like, you are fucking nuts.
You're high.
That's dedication.
But again,
there.
it's,
Yeah.
it's all you spend that much because you have to fit it into that small frame. So you're
Yeah.
getting the absolute highest output
Yeah.
Of this-
motors
of
and
this
controllers
chassis
and
size,
batteries,
yeah.
etc.
I mean, you
So-
might as well just go for it and set the land speed record on one of those.
I
We'll
thought
take
about.
it
I
to
thought about.
Bonneville.
I know. I thought about being the first person to officially hit 100 on.
That's
because I'm
going
like,
to be so sketchy, though.
again. You're $5,000 deep though.
Oh,
Like,
at least.
you have to.
At that point, you're building custom cells. And
I also
custom
thought
motors.
I'm
I'll
like,
go get the shovel to scrape your
you
ass
and
off the
your
pavement.
coworker Joe were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I got the fastest pit bike." I'm like, "Yo, I sink $3,000 into one of these fuckers and dust you guys."
I have
Like,
suspension though. and
I
you-
know,
you
but we
don't.
do it on the road. We do a 3-way drag race on the road, and I launch a fucking. I'm single gear,
See,
all torque.
now,
I'm like, "Oh, I could do this."
What was this about you
know.
giving me shit about being broke all the time for spending money on
He's like, I'm
stupid
gonna spend
shit?
$2,000
What's
on my
funny is I
e-bike.
haven't spent I've spent $40 on this total.
so far till he
And it
spends
will,
500.
and I could also just bolt this to the wall and be like, "Oh, nostalgia, done."
But you got to burn it up first. 100%.
Yeah, I also might just do that anyway. I might put $200 to this fucker and make it do 20-ish and call it good enough.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
It literally
case
just
scenario.
depends what I want to do.
You
Yeah.
do you, man. Just remember, lithium batteries, just toss them outside and let them burn. Don't throw anything on them.
Oh yeah.
Don't try to put 'em
That's the
out.
thing too. Is like people were like, "Don't do this. It's or like don't get this specific battery. It's a fire hazard." And it's like,
it's
just
probably
the
the same-
comments of it were like, "Yep, had 3 of them burn. Like they're just sitting in the road, pictures of them burning." I'm like, "Oh my god."
It's probably the same cells that are in your Ryobis, to be honest. They're
Fair.
probably the same
Yeah,
batteries.
so I guess like Milwaukee and DeWalt, there is a serious issue with knockoff batteries going
Yes.
around right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge problem.
Oh, the Amazon Milwaukee batteries
Oh,
have been
yeah.
a thing for a long
No,
time.
but
I
like,
mean, like, but
like
they look
perfect
like
looking
legit
counterfeit.
Oh, okay.
Normally
Yeah.
they look kind of wacky.
hardcore.
Gotcha.
Like,
Hold on, let me
I mean,
see.
you have to watch out for these things.
Go to Amazon. Let me search Milwaukee.
It's not. I'm not finding them so much on
Milwaukee
Amazon, but if you go on
Brewers.
like eBay,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that-
eBay, I
That,
suppose,
that
but-
doesn't fucking spread.
But it's like
those you can tell.
so these are like the standard knockoffs. Is like
the third.
this one looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'll say the third
Yeah,
and
like-
fourth are close.
Like this is listed at $64. Oh, maybe it is from Milwaukee.
Okay.
brand Milwaukee.
You get a 5 amp hour for $65.
God
I
damn.
see.
Well,
but-
6% off.
is
That's
that
the
actually
sense.
Milwaukee? or
It
is
says it says brand Milwaukee, but
Yeah.
it doesn't say seller Milwaukee. That's true actually.
because there was actually a Project Farm video on this.
Who's
that I
an
watched
awesome
'cause, you
YouTuber.
know, I
Yes,
use power
it is.
tools every day.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, these all look legit. He goes, but I don't actually know if they're scams or not.
I heard the guy from Torque Test channel, he's like,
Oh, that dude's fucking awesome.
I love those dudes, but he's like, they're so convincing now because the old fakes look like this.
Yeah.
And when you look at them side by side, you're like,
The
oh, this.
font's
yeah, you can
different. The
guarantee.
coloring's
You're like,
off.
I know these are fake, and for $50, whatever. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, like he got knockoff DeWalt batteries and registered them through DeWalt's website
And it went through?
for warranty, and it went through.
Damn.
Like
That's good.
That
means you buy the Chinese
is
ones,
not
you kill
good.
them immediately.
Well, what that
they
means-
send you actual DeWalt
Yeah.
back. Though.
what that means is somebody is buying junk DeWalt battery shells.
Oh, yes.
And building inside of them with some sketchy, shitty controllers and cells.
Right.
And then selling them because they look perfect because they are the right thing.
well, the DeWalt batteries they took apart didn't even have controllers in them.
what?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they were
That's how
just-
they make them cheaper.
Just
Yeah.
full voltage.
That's,
Fuck it.
that is extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Because the battery is kind of what limits the tool from
Yeah.
melting itself. So it's like if there's no controller, it will just disintegrate
Well,
itself.
like
blow
I
up.
had one at work that started smoking.
The battery pack?
Yeah,
Oh, toss it outside. Fuck
and
that.
I like talked to the tool guy, and he's like, they shouldn't do that.
They're designed not
Like
to do
the
that.
9 amp Milwaukee's, they discontinued because
The-
they would do that.
Yeah, hold on. I'll see if I can, because we had one here for a long time.
Uh,
And then Michael's like, hey, those catch on fire.
need to
Don't
get
use
rid
those.
of
Those set
those.
fire.
Yeah.
Not 9.9.
Oh, I must have clicked it twice.
Hey guys, it's finally fucking raining.
It was supposed to storm like crazy today.
Yeah.
And apparently it just didn't.
Never did.
9.0 Milwaukee battery.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
Anyway, yeah, keep going. I'll see
they
if I can
poured
find
the
it.
concrete.
Oh, at our
around the
parents'
pool
house.
today.
Oh, yeah, we're pouring concrete at our parents' house. Fun fact.
Yeah, there's
Well,
like
there.
full
Guess-
patio around the pool.
Kind of like where the camper is.
Oh.
From there forward is all got
Nice.
concrete now.
And the
Actually,
guy is like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "It'll be fine if it rains in an hour or two." But he goes, "If you get hail today,"
then it's fucked.
he's like, "Yeah,
It'll be
you're-
too cold
it's
on
fine."
top and crack.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
saying-
like, "It'll just damage it."
Just pop the picture.
Yeah,
up.
rain is actually okay because it'll
keep
cool
it-
it down faster. But
I mean, to a point. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want rain on.
yeah,
fresh
you
air.
want
Holy
hold-
shit,
all
that's
the way to the
fucking
shed. I
tense.
No,
thought
not all the way to the shed. Just to the garage.
to
yeah.
garage. Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
so the
fuck.
camper park's sideways back here now.
Nice.
So this will all be nice. That way you're not getting out of the pool
Yeah.
and getting grass on you.
I
and
thought it
shit.
would be. I see like where the crack is. Like one.
This one.
That I thought
Yeah.
it would end
Yeah.
there.
That's,
That's
where
what I
that's where the
thought, too.
camper used to be.
Yeah.
We
Now you're
rotated it.
sideways.
Now it's
Yeah.
here to kind of box
Fuck
that
yeah,
area.
dude, that's
And
sick.
like all on the backside is going to be gravel, and that's where the camper's.
Yeah,
gonna
the
sit.
camper's
Yeah.
gonna live
So-
back here.
and we'll
now.
throw all the rugs on the concrete now, so it's nice and soft and shit. Oh
yeah.
hell yeah!
But that way you're not getting out of the pool and then getting grass on your feet and then
Yeah.
back and forth
Fuck
and
yeah.
cracking
So now
shit.
it'll just be 250 degrees on the
Yeah.
concrete, and you'll
well, we
melt your
put
feet
the,
off.
put the fucking tents
Tents
up
up.
and everything.
So my thought is this isn't polished near as nice as the shed concrete is. This is like outdoor.
don't-
yeah, that's outdoor. That's,
That's
broom
dangerous.
swept.
The stuff in the shed is
Oh, I know it is.
glass.
Yeah. Oh,
It's-
dude,
terrifying. If it's
Oh, yeah.
wet, you die.
Oh yeah, my parents' garage, dude. The amount of times I've ran
Smells
through
like
there with
fucking
wet feet,
gas.
I'm like, oh god, and I fucking
Yeah, the shed has got some of the slipperiest concrete I've ever seen in my life. Because the stuff here at work is pretty smooth. And then I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, we had like they told me not to go this smooth, and we went extra smooth. I'm like, oh, ours is like glass.
Oh
compared to
yeah,
this. It
yeah.
is-
I do remember
if
how
there's-
smooth your
if there's
the
dust
shop
on
is.
it, you will slide. It's
Yeah.
fucking sketchy.
Christ.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty neat. Now, if it hails on it, it's fucked. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But okay, we're at like
Well,
2
I think
hours.
it stopped raining now. You mentioned it was raining, and now it's stopped.
And it's already
so
done.
About
Perfect.
2 minutes.
All right, let's get out of here.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.